All right.
Show for it.
All right, let's
Hey,
see.
welcome everybody to the show tonight. It's
Yeah.
You Ain't Shit for Watching. Tonight's show, we're gonna talk about abuse, domestic violence, epidemic going on with R. Kelly's and his his situation, just in general, actually. But uh, I think it portrays a lot of what's going on with R. Kelly. He's abusing these girls, so it kind of needs to be talked about. Is this an epidemic problem in the black community? Is this a problem in general? Tonight, I got a couple of people on the panel on the show. We're going to talk about it in a nice, light, breezy way fashion. We got Kev Esther from Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, my name is Kev. I run the Facebook group Black Men Being Brutally Honest with Everyone. I also have a YouTube channel by the almost the same name, Black Men Being Brutally Honest. And I am also a habitual line stepper. So we'll see how this goes tonight. Glad to be here, Donnie. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. Next on the list, we got Rain of the Thought Brigade. Rain, why don't you introduce yourself? Oh, I guess you there?
Yeah, I'm here. And I said, "You mammy." I heard you, little bastard. Oh my god.
You ain't gonna introduce yourself?
I am Rain with Rain's World 24. It's a gaming channel, and I also have on Facebook, and I also have another Facebook page called Peanut Butter Girl, a black woman appreciation page of all shades, sizes, and colors or whatever. So go follow them. I appreciate it.
All right. Next on the list, we got Roger, aka Rico, aka Raheem,
Richard
the Roger Report.
Okay, folks, this is Roger Stevens of the Roger Report. Uh, I'm I'm here to to get my to say a little something here and there. I'm also part of the habitual line steppers, and ready to rock and roll.
All right, that's beautiful. And then next up, we got the indomitable Trav. Trav, won't you say a little something for the people?
What up?
And that's Trav. All right, so basically on the night show, like I said, we was talking about R. Kelly, domestic violence, abuse. Anybody think they got anything that they want to say off top about the subject in general?
We have to kind of outline what is and what isn't abuse and what's different, about the different kinds of abuse.
So let's do this. Let's talk about this because R. Kelly's still hot. R. Kelly is known for having a what do they call it? A cult, if you will, of girls. What kind of abuse do you all think that it is, and how do you think he got his hooks into these girls in the first place?
Depending on the situation, because we talking about like a pimp situation, or are we talking about a manipulation situation? There's a difference though, because there's a lot of dudes out there who would say that they're pimps when they're really just master manipulators and con artists. You dig what I'm saying? And I feel like R. Kelly is more along the lines of a manipulator and a con artist rather than someone who just got the gift of gab and who's being honest with women and letting them know what they're signing up for.
So you don't think R. Kelly got the gift of gab and he's got these chicks eating out the palm of his hand? You think he's manipulating them?
Yeah, you gotta be I don't know. I think the difference between R. Kelly and an actual master actual dude with a gift of gab is that a dude with the gift of gab ain't gonna have no money. You know what I'm saying? If R. Kelly was a poor dude from Chicago and never became who he was, I don't think he'd be able to do any of this shit.
Damn.
I agree with that because he's out there using all his victims are low income. Well, majority of his victims come from low income single parent homes. He's buying them cars. He's paying their bills. He's doing all this stuff for their parents while they selling their daughters off.
Word, I can't say that you a dude who has the the gift of gab if you out here moving like a full blown trick. Like
why you say he moving like a trick?
Nigga, you buying cars and shit for these hoes you don't know, like the fuck. So you can be able to do all kind of weird shit with them sexually. Then yeah, you a trick. Like
I mean, shit. I mean, shit. Yeah, I can't even really fight it.
Can't call the girls hoes though. These are girls. Shut up, Ray.
I mean,
Oh,
okay. So, what kind of chick do you think is really falling for this? Do you think he's getting these chicks because they're so young they falling for it, or you think they just have low self esteem in general?
I think they're young and poor, and they see money and they want the fame and to get out of the Chicago. What would you call it? That type of living. A lot of them want to do that. They want to do better. They want the flashy clothes and the nice cars and the nice house. Their parents want their bills paid and don't want to be struggling. And this was the easy way out.
yeah, to be on the casting couch.
Did you say the casting couch, bro?
Yeah, casting couch. That's how you treat it.
Basically.
I
But
mean,
again, a lot of these girls didn't know what they were walking into. They didn't know that they were going to the studio to fuck. They were thinking they were going to the studio to
but
make.
here's my thing. I understand that maybe some of these girls didn't know, but Trav said it the last time we did a show. Everybody in the hood had that DVD. You walked into the barbershop and that shit was playing. So everybody knew R. Kelly had a predatory mindset off jump. Everybody knew he had married Aaliyah. So everybody knew that R. Kelly was on some rat shit from jump. So are these girls
But
really?
I mean, like, we only talking about R. Kelly though, bruh. Like, motherfuckers don't want to act like this isn't just some regular rich people shit, man. Like, you got, for example, I'm from Mount Vernon. Like, a lot of people don't know this nigga Diddy talking about he from Harlem, but he's from here. This nigga was 27 years old when he met his fucking baby mom, and she was 16. My nigga, you dig what I'm
Whoa.
saying? Like, you got this nigga Jay-Z fucking with Foxy Brown when she was 15 years old. You got nigga Jay-Z talking about he was enamored with Beyonce, and he met this bitch when she was 16 years old. So it's just like this shit is something that everybody's given a pass. I think this shit has a lot to do. It's more of a societal ill rather than just the ill when we speaking about like men as individuals in America. You dig what I'm saying? This is
Yeah, it's
this
that
is
culture.
I think this behavior is like it is just like exploitative. You dig what I'm saying? It's exploitative in a sense where it's more or less connected to capitalism rather than it just being like an individual thing, bro. Like,
So you think niggas get money, they start looking for little girls?
I mean, like when you're used to exploiting people in general, not really just money. You dig? Like, you can get money and you don't have to exploit nobody. Motherfuckers niggas see exploiting people as a regular thing. It's a thing. They see it as something that comes with power. You understand? Like,
I mean, we
Well,
get
let me say something real quick because my thing is when we use the word exploiting, what are we really saying? Now, I do understand and I do believe in protecting children, but when we talking about exploiting, people do stuff for money. That's just the way it goes. Is it really giving somebody money for doing something, exploiting them? Because I
I'm not
mean, I'm
about to
just
have
trying
this
to get a
argument with
context
niggas,
of.
man. Like, if niggas
No,
see that what the fuck niggas is doing to little girls, and they
no.
asking,
I'm
oh,
not
if they
talking
get
about. I'm
money,
not
like,
talking
I'm
about.
not.
No. I'm,
Yeah,
bro. I'm not saying something about little girls. I just said I do believe in protecting children. Period. But I'm saying when you set the term exploiting out there, everybody just about does stuff for money. So I don't think just saying it's an exploiting culture when it comes to little girls. I think it should be an issue that people don't want. Like I'm from Chicago, and my thing is, I don't care what you were doing. We done heard so much stuff here for the longest of time. If you want to get on, if you would do, okay, maybe you talk to R. Kelly. If there's a female involved, you don't even go in that direction. That's just the, you know what I'm saying? There was enough rumors. We don't know what's real about everything. I mean, people say that, it's only about that one tape that circulated, whatever the case is. But there's been enough rumors that no female, especially if you're talking about an underage female, there's no reason to bring an underage female around R. Kelly. It was just too much in the wind about the situation. And you know how they say where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm not trying to say he's technically guilty of anything because he ain't never been convicted, but why would you bring any young girl around that dude? It just don't even make sense. But I'm
We've
saying,
been knowing about this. We've been knowing about this dude for 18 years, 18, 19 years. Why would you let your girl around R. Kelly? after knowing all that shit.
Money. A lot of them didn't. They wanted to get their careers off. They still was like, well, maybe he can help us. Maybe he can do this for us. Like parents were
But
selling their kids off.
so that's
Many
them making a
people
deal
took
with the
the
devil. So they basically selling their daughter off in order to come up with some quick little nigga tricking fun. So I mean, yeah, I mean, shit, Trevor's right. This nigga's exploiting the situation, and these motherfuckers is looking to be exploited.
I
I
don't think the
mean,
Yeah, well,
girls
see,
are
my
looking
thing
to be
is it's just
exploded. I
the way
think the parents
we
that knew after the fact. Everyone that already knew about the whole R. Kelly situation and they still sent their daughters, they they didn't give a fuck about their kids. They just was thinking about themselves and the money.
yeah, pretty much. Dumbass daddy on the program looking stupid. I mean, shit. You talking about some shit that happened in 2015. We've been knowing about this shit since 2000, 2001. Come on, guy.
well, my thing is you've been hearing whispers about R. Kelly. Well, at least the people in Chicago. I don't know how long it took to start going over the rest of the nation, but in Chicago, like we've been here. I was hearing whispers about him in high school, and I didn't come out. I came out in '95. You see what I'm saying? So it was already like being circulated,
Old ass nigga.
you know. But my
So
thing
you
was
came out
just
in
that
'95. Well, 12 play was around the '90s, the early '90s. So he was.
it that I'm saying 12 play got hot around like 94, 95. If my memory's correct, I'm pretty sure I was still in high school when 12 play was out.
Damn, you are super old.
Y'all hell.
What I am is old enough.
You got it, Ryan
But that's
Seacrest.
but but that's beside the point. My only purpose of talking about exploitation was the fact that the fact that there's always been men giving women money. That's like not that's something new. That's all I'm saying on
But
that
that's
note.
the difference. Men give women money, yeah, they're crickets. But this man was giving parents money to sell their kids. Basically, what human trafficking.
I mean, but
Yeah, well, I'm
that's
saying
still tricky.
that's
He's
the
still a
parent
good man.
exploiting too, though. I'm just saying if
Technically,
R.
it's not
Kelly's
the daughter.
exploiting
It's not
with the parent exploiting the daughter. That's what I'm saying. It's a joint exploitation at that point because you're talking about people that's not grown.
So, do you think that this is a major problem in our community?
yes.
Because you heard Trav say Diddy was fucking around. You heard him say Jay-Z was fucking around. Uh, it's probably a whole bunch more.
Not only that, you
What's his
got this
name?
bitch ass nigga. You got this bitch ass nigga Dame Dash talking about, oh yeah, I had to stop fucking with Jay after
The
you know what I'm saying, like the Aaliyah situation. I'm like, nigga, you was damn near 30 fucking with Aaliyah, like, and it's just like, bro, like, and she probably was of age when she met Dame Dash, but nigga, I'm 29. And if I meet a bitch that's 21, 19 years old or 18 years old, I'm not really gonna be trying to entertain no bitch like that, my nigga. Like to me, I feel like any dude that's really trying to like it's one thing. You dig what I'm saying? If you really meet her on some shit, you dig? But if it's a situation where I know a bitch parents and shit like that, and I knew them from when they was a teenager, the last thing I'm gonna try to do is try to get at them. You understand? And then this nigga trying to pass judgment on this nigga Jay for working with this nigga R. Kelly when he pretty much was fucking it too. Like you dig, and he probably was lusting after her too, when she was underage. So it's just like, what the fuck? Who can you take seriously in this situation? Like,
Even what's the dude name? Kimura's ex-husband.
Russell
What's
yeah, the
Simmons.
nigga met her when she was 17.
Yep.
You dig what I'm
They,
saying? Like,
yep. I agree with you, Trav. Mm.
So it's just an epidemic of niggas meeting underage bitches and trying to.
But here's
let
the
me tell
thing.
you, bro. What I
Go
said is
ahead.
facts. What I said is facts. This shit is a societal problem. This shit has nothing to do. This shit has more to do with people having an exploitative nature rather than them just, you dig what I'm saying? It's like, of course they're child molesters, but it's more of them having an exploitative like state of mind. Like,
So let me ask you this: so everybody's known about R. Kelly forever. Everybody's known about all these celebrities doing this shit. Why do you think now they are bringing it up as a point to fuck with R. Kelly?
because they're trying to monetize this nigga story same way they do with the fucking hello, you hear?
Yeah, we here. Hello.
Yeah.
You must be cutting out. Hey, Nicole, how you doing?
Oh, hi.
You want to give a shout out? Let us know your channel name since Trav is disposed at the moment.
Hey, Nicole Diaz Uncensored, and I will be on soon. So there you go.
All right, Trav, you get it together? Nah.
What you were saying, no?
Yeah, you cut out, so I didn't know what you was saying.
Yeah.
My fault. Well, but what? I forgot your original question.
Uh,
Why is people coming after R. Kelly now?
Because they're trying to monetize this nigga's story. It's no different than motherfuckers still dropping shit about OJ, bruh. Like, we know this nigga killed that cracker. Like, it's a rap. Like, you dig? Like, why y'all keep on coming out with shit, bro? Like, niggas is trying to make money off this nigga's story. That's all this shit is about, bro. Instead of motherfuckers trying to put him in jail or taking the money that they using to make a goddamn show to kill this nigga, you know what I'm saying? They trying to make a couple dollars off it, bro. Like,
so what I feel like personally is this is a smoke screen. Granted, R. Kelly is doing some foul shit. I still feel like it's a smoke screen because you have too many white individuals out here getting caught
Oh
basically
my
doing the
God.
same thing. And instead of paying attention to the white individuals who are hot, who are doing some shit that's current, that nobody's known about, they choose to go get some R. Kelly for some 18-year-old shit everybody knew about. And I feel like that's real foul and funny style.
But there are documentaries on the white ones, right? People just
When did they
wasn't
do a
a big thing.
6-part episode on Harvey Weinstein?
Hold on, I'll pull them up because I was looking at this earlier.
Yeah,
I
I
want to
actually
see
never
a
heard
six
about that
part
myself.
episode of Harvey Weinstein where they was talking about uh tears from Weinstein.
But you know
nah,
what though?
low key. I think this shit has a lot to do with and the shit that's crazy is just like I feel like nobody is really like doing anything about any of this shit, but it's just like I feel like
They're not finna do nothing
we're
to R.
more
Kelly.
we're,
Kelly
we're more
they're not
we're,
gonna do
we're
nothing but
more
tell the truth.
responsive. We're more responsive than white people are. You dig what I'm saying? White people is gonna give this shit.
Uh, Rico over there being real quiet. What's going on, Rico?
Well,
Well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think you have a point that they are trying to use R. Kelly to basically protect others to a certain degree. But when it comes to what's going on in the black community, I real talk, and I know people gonna hate stuff like this, but we just have far too many people that simply pro pedophile in the black community. Like I've said before, I went into high school. When you're a high school freshman, you try to date the girls that go to your high school, but you got so many girls dating seniors and juniors. Then you got other girls dating dudes that's already in college. You got other girls bragging about dudes that's like 20, 23, 24, 25 years old, the stuff they buy them and things like that. You got so many girls that have been with such dudes that were older, they just weren't famous people. Then when they grow up and now they got daughters, and now because you have so many single mothers, especially, they don't mind their daughters dating older men because older men buy their daughter stuff and everything they buy their daughter. That's one more less thing they got to buy. But it's not like people don't know because when girls come home with a brand new pair of Jordans and they ain't got no job, you know what I'm saying? You know something is up. When they get them brand new earrings, something is up. When they get those brand new clothes, something is up. If you ain't buying it for your daughter, but she getting it, you know something is going on, but you ain't saying nothing because you don't care.
Damn.
That's fact.
Welcome
So,
to the show. Joe popped on BMT Black Male Talk.
Oh, what's going on, man?
um, hey, Brent. Oh God, Donnie, I have one of the documentaries on Harvey Weinstein was named what is it called? Um,
Surviving Weinstein.
it was Sundance did it. What's the name of it? I think basically I'm gonna say this. So far, I think The Reckoning. Wow, that's creepy. That's one. Unauthorized is that one? I think that's another one. I'm looking at about 3 to 4 different ones on the on him. But again, these weren't big things.
No,
Be- You know why? Because they're white people, and white people are still gonna low key support their weirdos, in my opinion.
there's no that like I understand that they have this mute R. Kelly movement for some shit he did 18 years ago that everybody knew about. Well, he's currently doing. Everybody knew. There's no everybody knew. There's no hiding the fact. It's not a secret thing. But I just don't understand why it's such a big issue now when you have all these motherfuckers finally being caught for some shit that nobody knew about. Nobody's asking you to mute Harvey Weinstein. Nobody's asking for the Dad from Seven's Heaven show to be removed. And they pulled off Bill's shit immediately.
I don't. I think Seventh Heaven got pulled too.
Oh no, I seen that shit a couple months
Nah,
ago.
Seven Heaven definitely didn't get pulled. I know that because that was the first thing people were saying. You know, when it was found out the dude was doing what he was doing, but they refused to pull it.
They didn't have a problem taking down the Cosby Show. They didn't have a problem
Yeah,
taking that down.
they'll pull you if you're black. You know that's my
Oh,
whole
no
thing. It's
problem.
like
And they pull you
yeah. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
black. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead. I'm letting you.
No, I'm saying they pull you because you're black, because black people, don't mind when that happens. You do have a little resistance from black people, but black people do
Seventh Heaven has been
generally
pulled.
accept the decision and move on. So, I mean, when you say something, fucked up about one of us, black people
Y'all
immediately
are
listen.
y'all are incorrect. Seventh Heaven was pulled. I just looked it up.
Um,
What network was it on?
Bro, yeah, because I seen Seven Heaven not too long ago on TV.
Mhm.
Only thing,
I'll tell you.
only thing I'm saying is this: Bill Cosby
It
show
looks
got
like
taken
Up
down.
TV and TV Guide Network pulled reruns of the show.
They
Oh, so
pulled
two
it as soon as it
networks.
happened.
Two
Yeah,
networks
they've
pulled.
been
I
pulled
was
it.
gonna say, now I don't even watch Seventh Heaven. Never been a fan of Seventh Heaven, and yet I know it's been on television.
Only,
But from what I'm looking up, it's showing that it's Roseanne, Bill Cosby, Seventh Heaven.
no,
Let me
Roseanne
look
is
it up.
still playing. That's still. I'm sorry, I just watched that one night.
The Connors
That
is what they called it now. But yeah,
Yeah, it's just called the Connor. It's just not. It's not called Roseanne, but
Oh
they
yeah, they
still.
changed it up. They
Yeah,
canceled
they
the
did.
they
return of the
killed her off
reboot
in the show.
and basically got rid of her. But I
What
guess
did it?
that's different.
I think they said Roseanne, like mom went on vacation or mom went somewhere or some shit. Like
Nah,
What
they
the
killed
name?
her. They killed her in the show. She took some. She had an overdose.
oh, she did.
That's fucked
I was
up.
gonna say if they brought her on vacation, that means they already got it set up for her to come back.
Yeah,
You know what
nah,
I'm
they
saying?
killed
So
her on
my
the
thing
show.
is let's pay attention to that fact. But she white though, so she gonna get that white pass card. White
I
folks get a pass card.
I just
Hold on,
want
hold on.
I just want the same
What?
energy. Like nobody's doubting that R. Kelly's a monster. Nobody's saying that he's innocent or anything of that nature. But I do feel like there's not the same energy being put out. I want the same energy across the board. Don't let it just be black monsters be the only one locked up and these white ones is walking around on some cool
but
shit.
but who are like who is giving the white people a pass though? I
Black
mean,
people.
are white
Black
people
people.
White people
after
aren't giving
white
white
people?
people.
Nah,
Are we letting white
black
people
people
not
white
give
people
white
get more
people?
pass. Black people give white people more pass than anything. I'm gonna call that shit like we see it.
Yeah,
Am I
yeah, yeah.
wrong?
I understand that. I understand that. But
Not only that, I feel like another thing that needs to be mentioned. I feel like the common man, when we talk about white people, the common man is gonna die. He's gonna go to jail, etc. If you try to do this kind
Boy, Trav,
Yeah,
And
Trav,
he
you
has
cut
some
it.
really good
It's
points.
yeah. I think he's trying to say the
say some
common
other shit.
man
Just don't
will
know.
be held. The common man is going to be held accountable, while rich people won't necessarily be held
It
accountable.
depends.
I
thing that
think that's
that's true.
directly
Not
what
only
going.
that, the
Depends.
common man will murder the dude doing this kind of shit. Like when we talk about white people, the majority of the time you'll hear about people like Harvey Weinstein doing this kind of shit is when they're doing this shit to unprotected people. Like you'll never hear about white people, white women with like parents and fathers and shit, like where this kind of shit will happen and there'll be no kind of repercussion. Like
It depends. It depends, because I could pull up some cases where some white boys get caught raping or doing some shit, and they'll be like, "Oh well, Tommy had it rough at home. Like somebody took away Fortnite or some shit. Like let a black kid get caught up in some shit like that. Nah, nigga, you know we knew this nigga was a serial killer when he stole that candy out the store that when he was 6 years old. Like we never get the same story. Nah, but I can't ride with that. And I'm a black conservative, and I've seen some pretty interesting shit. Black men get caught with a gun. You best believe they're gonna do everything fucked up that happened in your life. White kid shoot up a school. Well, he had a tough childhood. You know what I'm saying? Bullying and different stuff. Like we don't get the same narrative. I'm sorry, we do not. And this is for me. And I sit around some people. I'm like, wow, did we just get this motherfucker a pass? Like the black person shoot up a basketball court. You don't hear about single parent household, how fucked the community. You'll see all that shit. White can't shoot it up, and we seen on the news. Well, he got bounced around. He didn't have enough love or some shit. I'm like, damn, like I bet you got that same kind of like pushback. It's just sometimes we don't get the best narratives painted on us, and because that happens, because again we don't control that. And I'm not trying to sound like no damn pro black, but I can't lie. Sometimes, man, everything is just it is what it is, and that's why I try to tell a lot of brothers you gotta have 10 toes down, and you gotta watch the narratives that gets put on you. You know, especially on us, the women and stuff. There've been plenty of white men who have been caught raping and only be told, well, they, what I'm saying, well, we'll put them on probation or some bullshit like that. Let that be a brother. Nah, nigga, you already know
Let me
it's zero past
let
go.
me
Your ass is done. Like,
let me say something real quick. Uh, Penn State campus. Jerry Sandusky and Nate Parker is a perfect example of this. For everything that for everything that Jerry Sandusky did on Penn State campus, the narrative of the monster went to Nate Parker for what he supposedly did on Penn State campus. So
Mm-hmm.
how many times have you heard out of our community about what Parker supposedly did as opposed to what Jerry Sandusky was proven to have done from our side?
yep, yep.
Well, the when it comes to media, they matter of fact, it was a story done that says white killers get better treatment through the media than black victims.
Go
Hello?
ahead.
Everybody phone just cutting out, huh?
I guess. Well, I was saying that when it comes to the papers and the media and things like that, they've actually done a study on this, and it shows how white convicts or killers or whatever that culprit is, they get better treatment in the media than black victims. So there's so much pushed on you when you black, no matter whether you're on the victim side or you're the person being accused, they jump all over you with stuff. So a lot of this sinks into the subconscious, and we as black people need to stop allowing this to sink so deep in our subconscious. We got to start paying attention to this stuff.
But there's a certain amount of apathy that comes from the brothers on stuff like this anyway. I mean,
Well, I
some of us
mean,
do care and a lot of us don't. You act like we don't give a shit.
Let me say something about
well,
that, bro.
when it comes to black men, in my opinion, based on everything I've seen in my life, the societal narrative is no matter what, they don't care.
Right. We,
If we do good, they don't care. If we do bad, just lock them up because we don't care about him.
but one of our biggest issues, man, is we be trying to sympathize with the
Hey
problem.
Joe, I don't know what you got going on with your mic, but you sound like far away.
Hang on, let me fix that. I can fix that.
All right, well shit. We fixing that. So I'm just curious. What in terms of domestic abuse, domestic violence, let me ask everyone here on this panel. Uh if it was to happen to one of your family members, uh what would be your immediate response, I guess? How would you respond? What would your first thoughts be? How would you move on a situation if you found out that one of your family members particularly maybe a woman was getting beaten up by her boyfriend or husband?
Let's move.
Depends on, for one, it depends on how close I am with them. Like that's number one. And two, it's like it like you gotta gauge their overall response to what's going on, because it's like you, I don't know, bro. Like for one, it's just like you got to gauge the response to what's going on. Like to me, and you have to explain to them what's happening to them, because like abuse or traumatize people to where they'll think that they're either doing something wrong or etc. Or if you see that they're mentally incoherent to what's going on, you just gotta act. At that point, I'd probably just kill dude. You know what I'm saying? But if I know that a woman knows what's going on and she's okay with it, I'm gonna mind my business. Like,
I think that's a valid response because you're assessing the situation. Anybody else? Rod?
Well, I mean, like it's like as it relates to the topic, the cops can't find anything that R. Kelly is really doing wrong, even though we know he's doing wrong. So one of my things is, what's within the law. If a person really doesn't want help, they're not going to accept any help from you. So I just kind of look at it that way. I mean, yeah, I do want to solve the problem. I do want to curb it. But if I kick in the door, beat his ass, and they press charges, because that's always a possibility. That's about it.
Okay, well, what about you, ladies? I mean, there's two women on the panel. I'm just curious. Let's say one of your real relatives is a singer or aspiring dancer, and they say, you know what, I met R. Kelly, and R. Kelly is trying to put me on. They may be 16, 17, somewhere around that, and the parents is for it. What do you say as the older cousin, as the person that's supposed to look out for them? What do you do? How do you respond to that situation?
No, it's not happening. We would have to have a seriously family meeting and talk about this, because I just don't see the logical behind that, knowing the type of man he is, what he does.
But all of this has happened for years, and everybody's known it. So you feel like you're gonna be the one voice.
Know what? Let me just say this for legal purposes. We're only talking about what R. Kelly is allegedly doing for legal purposes. Not what he technically did do. We're talking about what he allegedly did.
We know for a fact he married a 15.
What are you talking about allegedly? Like what the fuck? What do you mean, my nigga?
No, bro. I'm saying for YouTube purposes, brother.
Yeah, I get what you're saying as far as a lawsuit goes, but we know for a fact that he was on video looking real suspect. We know for a fact that he married Aaliyah's 15-year-old self. So those are two things that we're gonna go off of, because
we know that. Those we can.
Been disproven. The sex video has been disproven already. So
it hasn't been disproven. It's just the parents were paid off.
The video.
They checked the birthmark. He has a birthmark. The guy on the video did not have a birthmark. So
listen, that was R. Kelly. Everybody in this motherfucker. That was R. Kelly.
Okay.
Well, I mean, whether the video was real or not, there was documentation about the marriage. So
that's what I said. I'll go with you in the marriage, but in the video, they already did that, and they already checked his body and everything. And they say, hey, it wasn't him, and that was a white cop already did that. So
random disclaimer. I seen that movie when I was underage. I did not, I never owned any kind of kitty porn of whatever, or of any kind whatsoever. I never owned any kind of child pornography. Just throwing that out there, like.
Yeah, I would say I did actually see a copy of it. It wasn't a clear copy, so you couldn't even tell if it was R. Kelly. But I have heard it was clear copies out there. I just never seek to actually go out and see it.
The barbershop and seeing that shit.
I watched that shit right at the barbershop and outside school. I watched that thing 5 times. Nah, sorry.
Like low key, like it's to the point where after the fact. It's to the point after the fact where I looked at niggas who really took the time to take their money and buy that video. I got to look at them funny too now. Like,
why?
Well, this is what I say. At the time,
if you tell me, yo, bro, that's word to me. Let me tell you this right now. say for instance, we got a bootleg man in the hood right now. I get I say this shit without feeling any kind of like anything, bro. If I ever
And they cut out. He stay cutting out.
White man
I
took
just
them off.
think,
get violated, I'm murdering them. I'm murdering them in the street. That's word.
What, don't incriminate yourself here, nigga. But
Yeah,
listen,
he overdoing it now. Like overdoing with tape now. Like, okay, calm down.
I
Ain't
think
that true?
I
Ain't
think
that
it's
true?
What do
time.
you mean? I'm dead ass serious. Anybody who feel any kind of that's word to that's word to me, my
y'all
nigga.
sound horrible.
I'm all
That's
Like,
saying,
word
there's
to
a
me.
lot of niggas on my damn block. I don't think y'all shooting a whole damn like a
You don't
whole
know
set.
Trav don't.
I'm just saying,
Trav will make the effort at least.
he'll make. Hey, I'm glad he'll make the effort, but hey, only thing I'm saying is that if niggas really wanted to get him help, they could have done it 10, 15 years ago. And like I told some of my old heads, y'all saying the millennials failed. Nah, nigga, y'all old heads, y'all failed him because y'all knew he was fucked up when he was young. Y'all did not call him out.
But
Just like, so you didn't call
Nah,
him out.
he was called out. People been trying to lock this dude up for the
No,
longest. So my
no, no,
thing
no.
is that's
When
not
you
a true
call somebody
narrative.
out, that doesn't mean you still go buy their damn shit. That don't mean you still go give them money. You still allow
okay,
your woman to go to a concert.
question. How many of you men, well, you're saying this, but how many of y'all are still listening to his music to this day?
No, I listen to
I
R.
don't
Kelly. I'll tell you that
I
right
don't
now.
own
I've
no
listened to
kind
R.
of
Kelly.
You already
I
know.
ain't
Hey,
shit.
I'm still.
I'm
You
just
already
saying.
know. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me because guess
So,
what? I'm like, yo, it's dead. He gonna get his pay. He gonna get paid. He
okay,
gonna get
question.
paid.
I have another question. Joe, how old are you?
Me, I'm
Mm-hmm.
31. Right.
And Randall's 41. Y'all two
Okay.
said y'all was still listening to it, so technically it's millennials and older people's fault. Y'all are still rocking with them.
No, no.
No,
You gotta
no,
understand,
no.
Rich.
That has nothing to do with fault. You can't. When it comes to trying to put somebody in jail, it's about putting them in jail. When it comes to entertainment, that's entertainment.
Y'all are still
If I,
paying
no,
him,
no, hear me.
and
Let me tell you something.
he
Let
did a
me tell you
lot.
something.
Niggas
Let me tell you
niggas
something.
have no kind of
Hold on.
fucking morals.
Let me say
Niggas have
one
no
Y'all
statement,
kind of
call out
code,
Prince.
my nigga.
bro.
Niggas
Let
Y'all
me
have
call
no
can,
out
kind of
Prince
code,
like
can,
man.
that.
can I
Let
finish
us
the
Niggas can't
statement?
even
Let me
call
finish the
themselves men,
statement.
bro. Like,
No, let me finish my statement.
Oh
Truth
Lord, now
be
he said
told,
we can
when it
pause
comes
him.
down to it, I don't
It's
care what people are
entertainment.
doing in a personal situation. Because for me, it is
But do you
entertainment.
realize his
hold
person
on.
And
went into
if
his music?
no, hold on, let me
Did
say something. Dang,
back
can I speak
home
for a
did
Hold
it?
on,
second?
hold on, Ray. Hold
Let
on, Ray.
me speak. Let me speak.
Ray, let
I
him
listen
go.
to you. Just
I
let me
can't
talk.
hear any of you guys. So.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Hold on.
Now,
Yeah.
Let
when it
Randall talk,
comes to
and then we'll
when
let
it comes
Trav talk, and then Rain go.
yeah, when it comes to stuff that's entertainment wise, my thing is, as I grew up, I found out the entertainment industry is bad, period. Just about everybody involved in it is doing it. So if you're not going to stop watching movies, television, reading books, and everything else that goes with it, at the end of the day, you're supporting somebody who's doing something negative. So my stance is, I don't care if you feel that way, but feel that way about everybody, not just the black dude.
Facts.
All right. So
Okay.
Robert got his
Well,
point
you're a
in.
part of the problem. But
Robert got
next,
his point in.
like,
Let
Rocky.
like
hold
my
on. Robert
nigga.
got
All
his
right,
point in.
cool.
Now let Trav talk.
Like, but bro, like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like,
Kind of just said. Kind of just told you. Really just told you.
No,
like you're
but
saying, oh yeah, judge the white dude the same as the black dude. Like, what?
No,
Okay, now what? We do
what I'm
that, then
saying
what?
is,
What now?
no. What I'm saying is, when you act like you care, then care for real. And if you actually care about something like that, then that's just what you do normally. It's not about who the person did that did it. It's about that's what you do. So if a person really actually feels like, oh, this entertainment is attached to the actual person, when you feel that way, you do it. Period. It's not about who's being accused. See what I'm saying?
Okay, all right,
You do that for the black
fantastic,
people and
cool.
everybody else. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
All right,
Rain, go ahead.
what does that have to do with anything? Like,
I think that's
He
kind of,
literally
I
just
feel like
said
that's weird because
Because
well, hold
oh
on, I let you talk.
no,
So
I'm
now
saying go ahead,
Go Rain.
go ahead.
Go Rain.
you're a
Rico,
mentor.
Rico let
So are you going to
Rico let
tell
you
that
talk.
to the little kids that you mentor? Like, are you going to tell them that? Like,
Tell
hey,
them
listen
what?
to me. Like, I just think that's, oh my God. I feel like
No,
that's
no,
just
sir,
the
I'm trying
symptom.
to understand what you're
You
saying.
are still supporting him, and a lot of the shit he did, he put it in his music in a way, in a message. He was crying out through his music about his darkness. And niggas
He
is like,
was
oh,
killing.
well, he was a bomb entertainer. His music is fire. I'ma still listen to it. But he's
I'ma
mentioning
still listen to it.
victims
Judge the
in
white
his
man like you
song.
do the black man. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
No, no, she asked a
Like,
question about it. That's why I answered
so
the question. I know
we,
it don't have nothing to do with
I
anything.
know, like,
Because
I mean, I stopped, I
All
know,
we
I
saying
haven't
is
listened
take
to,
a stand. That's all motherfuckers is saying. And you mentioning some white man, black man shit when
no,
motherfuckers is
no,
just telling you to take a stand and have
no,
some fucking balls. Like,
no. My thing, bro, I do, but my thing is, I'm about having balls about stuff that actually matters. My thing is, if we know the dude is doing stuff, literally convict him. There's enough people with enough information for us to convict them. People
and
don't want to. In the black community, we have so many people that are pro pedophile because they let their daughters be with niggas. The little kids been with niggas since I've been in high school. That's what I found out freshman year of high school. This ain't something new, and it ain't about R. Kelly. Everybody just about, I ain't gonna say everybody, but it's a large group of people that's doing it that's pro pedophile. Because all them other people, they was girls too. So why is it a big deal when R. Kelly do it, but it's not a big deal when everybody else do it?
I
I
don't know
it's
gotta
what
agree.
been
you're
a big
saying,
deal.
bro. Like,
I
I
gotta
don't know.
agree. I
Anybody,
gotta agree
anybody
with
in
him on
Wine
that,
County
man.
that's doing any kind of shit like that, I'm doing something to them. Like,
So,
so I don't know
so,
what you're talking
No,
about.
no,
Like,
but no,
so
bro. What I'm saying is you're being consistent. I don't mind what you're saying because you're being consistent. My thing is if you're talking about taking a stand, I protect children too. But my thing is stop. I don't like people being fake about it. If you actually care, there's certain things you're gonna do when you actually care. It's so many people out here
What,
that got girls dating grown men just so they can buy them little trinkets. It's ridiculous.
so we as people, how do we stop him? Like you just said, we need to convict him. But the people that can't convict him, like us, we need to stop supporting him. We're putting money in his pockets by still listening to him. He's still having access to pay off people to run these streets, do whatever he wants because we are still supporting him. If we cut off his lifeline, he won't be able to do the things he's doing.
Okay, okay,
But
and what I'm
of course,
saying, I understand that part,
the
but
older generation is failing us at this.
so
Oh well,
so so
we're
let's.
just gonna listen to him.
I
what
have
what
this
about the
question.
people we got access to? We got access to the people in the neighborhoods. We got access to the people that go to our schools with it. We got access to the children who go to the same school as your sons and your daughters. What about all those people? Everybody ain't R. Kelly. I understand he got money to maybe help him float through some stuff, but what about everybody else?
my nigga, I don't know what go, but I don't know what goes on in y'all neighborhoods, bro. But anybody who's openly doing this kind of shit, bro, they can't come around anybody who's real. Like,
No,
that don't got nothing to
bro,
do
I
with.
understand what you're saying, but at least that's what I'm saying.
Man,
You're being consistent though, so I understand where you're coming from. I'm not disagreeing with you at all, but I'm
Yeah.
saying let's not act like this ain't common stuff.
So, so y'all find out y'all grandma married y'all granddaddy. Your granddaddy a grown man. Your grandma was a teenager. Y'all gonna call those two niggas out and say, "Granddaddy,
Yep. Hell yeah.
all right,
I don't.
man,
I
get the
don't.
fuck
I
out of
don't
here
know.
with that dumb shit,
That's
man.
word to
Stop
me.
that
That's
shit,
word to me.
man. Get out of here." They're like, "Nigga, get the fuck out my house with that shit, man. I made you, nigga. You gonna come to me with that shit?" That's what I'm saying. Like, we ain't gonna pretend like this shit ain't been going on for years in the black community for years. Like, come on now. Like, you
We
want?
stop it. Are we ever gonna stop it? That's the problem. Like we keep saying
hold on,
it's
hold on.
going on
I
for
So let
mean,
me
years.
let me
I'm
let me let me
different
make it
age,
clear
different
in my
time.
opening
Stop
statement.
it.
This is not
No.
Different age,
Are
different
we
time.
are we
I
just
get
gonna
what
keep
you're saying,
talking
Rain.
about it?
I'm
Or are
not
we
gonna
gonna
send
just
my
stop it
daughter to go
today?
marry no grown ass man. I get what you're saying. But here's the thing. If we knew, like I told you, me and you had a sidebar talk about this. They can no longer touch R. Kelly after this documentary. They fucked themselves. They can't touch him. He's out. You can't touch him anymore. I told people that. Once they put out that damn shit about that documentary, you can't. He can sue. He can sue, get his checks, and now he
he
can
is
live. He can live comfortably. You can't take him to court
he is
because no jury, because of that bias that they already put out there on him, no jury can actually process him properly.
Only
And
way
it's
they
worse.
can they can still convict him if they have
No,
actual
mm-mm.
evidence. Evidence,
It
Dork.
depends.
If you listen,
It depends on the statute of limitations and what's going on.
yes.
If one
So
of them
there are
girls
still young
that
girls
was
that are
his little
still
compound comes out and says, he was holding me against my will, then that's a different story because that was recent. That was this year.
yes.
Right. But see, that's the thing. They already found out that all those girls signed. They all openly made open statements on camera. We want to be here on our own. Once you put that, he
No,
listen.
no, no.
He
Can't
got
get a
the people right.
15-year-old to sign paperwork stating that they wanted to be on their own with
But
a
if the
random
parents
girl.
signed, guess what? There you go. Parents signed.
He
Guess
has
what? The
sex with
police.
them,
So
then he can still
Sometimes,
get in trouble.
fuck.
here's the thing about it. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes when
There
you
is
want something so
You cannot have sex with a 14, 15-year-old. You can
proof.
sign
Are
all
y'all
the
going off
paperwork you want in
do
the
y'all have
world.
proof? Do y'all have
No,
proof?
I'm not saying if
Niggas
there's
doing
Actually,
all the goddamn
can I
mental
speak when you're done, like
gymnastics as they
going
can,
back and forth?
just to get it to the pass. Like,
Can I say
Here's the
something?
thing.
go
Yeah,
ahead,
go ahead,
Nicole.
Nicole. I know what you're about to say, Nicole,
But I
but
want
go
to
ahead.
say it without people. We can't hear you guys, and it sounds horrible to the viewers when everyone speaks at once. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
drop some
No,
jewels.
Nicole, you won't play with that. Let me say this. Y'all do know some states that the legal age is 16,
What's
right?
the point?
And so that's one thing which he'd actually been going to certain states. We're not saying that what he did was wrong. I'm not saying what he did was right. But the thing about it is, when they already came at him multiple times, they couldn't find he did anything wrong. Y'all can say he's wrong as much as you want. People already done try to fight him, put their hands on him. Once he puts all that stuff on the table, he said, yo, I'm the victim, which we got to be for real. People have been playing the victim card. When you should have got him, just like Roger said, you didn't get him. When y'all should have stopped buying his CDs, going to his concerts and all that shit. Like literally, they put up a doggone a paperwork a concert with women grabbing his crotch and everything. Like black women ain't trying to give it to this nigga. No, they not. We ain't gonna pretend like that shit. But we just watched a whole doggone concert with niggas, females grab. Donnie, you saw the video of the women that was grabbing his junk and shit.
I seen some shit that had me cracking up. I seen it on Trav page.
I was like, yo, he is not hurting for no damn pussy. He is not hurting.
It was
not at all.
It was a screenshot. Trav put it up on his page, and it was this chick, and she was basically going in. She gave this whole dissertation on R. Kelly with this whole shit. An individual in the same, like in the next screenshot, was like, "Don't listen to her. This bitch was at R. Kelly's concert."
Word, exactly. The Kelly joint. I remember that shit.
It's
like word. That shit was funny.
Outrage at this point.
But see, that's the point I'm trying to make. As individuals, real talk, I don't care who listen to R. Kelly or who don't. As an individual, I'm not gonna let you molest a girl. Period. What I'm saying is the real R. Kelly is just one dude. The real problem we got too many people that's pro pedophile because we got all these girls that date these older dudes when they kids, and then they grow up and they let their daughters do the same thing because they don't want to buy stuff for them. And everybody be cool with that, and nobody wants to come to terms with it, and nobody wants to call them out with it. In my personal opinion, we at a point where we necessarily can't get R. Kelly, but we could get other folk because everybody know the stuff go on.
Like call out that nigga at church. Call out that nigga that be picking up the girls at the school and shit. Call out the nigga at the doggone football camp and shit. Like there's so many people that y'all know. I'm probably sure everybody here knows somebody or thinks they know of something, but they ain't saying shit. But the thing about it is,
I personally do not, because I would break all that up real quick. But what I'm saying is, there's the issue. We got to start doing it where you hold the men and the women accountable, because we got parents just allowing this stuff. Period. When your kid come home with stuff they can't pay for on a regular basis, you know something going on. It's not like you don't know. You can't tell me these girls come home with all this stuff that you didn't buy them and you don't know something is going on.
Bro, man, listen.
I'm not around those communities, so I wish I could see that and do something about that. I know somebody that abused someone, and guess where they're at? They're in jail. They've been in jail for a long time. So I think it's more in the inner cities and the ghettos and the hoods and stuff like that. People that are closer to them and have access to those type of people need to step in and say something.
But I'm saying that's how you actually stand up.
because of money. Again, these
But,
are single parents, single
oh, go
mothers,
ahead.
and whatnot that need that are struggling day to day,
That's
and
not an excuse
they're like,
though.
"Fuck it." I
So
didn't say
what?
it
They
was an
struggling.
excuse.
No, but
I
no.
did
I'm
not
just.
say it
No. I'm
was
not.
an
I'm not saying.
excuse.
I'm
I
not
just
saying you
stated
are.
the situation. So it's
I'm
just
not
kind
saying
of
you are. But
like
my thing is that really
we
shouldn't
need to
mean
get them.
anything to
How do you
anybody.
get them?
But here's
Because
the thing, Ring. When I remember when I was saying that to you and Daphne, like, hey, when me and my boys were young, we used to always target at the single mothers because we knew that guess what? They're easy targets. They want something. Listen, I had this one damn chick. She was telling her 15-year-old daughter how to run game on college niggas. Like she was telling her daughter, listen, put on those cute outfits. Shit. Now I'm watching, I'm like, damn, you do that too? Shit. Listen, she gotta learn how to make her bread. Now I'm like, hold up. So you checking her shit, and yet you see her coming home with some damn, mind you, you already
what did you
stressing
do
trying to
about
put
the
gas in the car.
situation though? But
Huh?
what did you do about this? What did you
I would
do?
have
You
punched
knew
that
this was
bitch
going
in
on.
her face. Like,
First of all,
Like,
yeah, okay,
no, like
and
dead
I
ass.
go to
Like,
jail,
because
nigga,
you're telling
please.
this
Listen,
story and y'all are saying we need to
Well,
get these
first
people.
one to go to
If you
jail.
sat there and knew about
right,
it
first one,
and you
me
watched
being first one to go to
and you
jail,
didn't,
okay, right.
did you do anything about it? No, like I'm dead ass serious. You knew this story. You knew this mom was doing this. Did you report it? Did you say anything? What did you do about it? Because if you just let it go, then you're a part
I
of
ain't
the
do
problem.
nothing. You're right. Guess what?
You're a
Because
part of the
I'm not
problem.
the parent.
If
What
you
do
I'm
you?
not the
No,
parent.
no, but Joe, that's a serious point. If you know about it, you got to do
I
something
know
about it.
about
You
it, but
can't just
guess
let it
what?
ride.
Guess what?
So none of them tips why you support
Who
R.
had?
Kelly
But see, I
music.
don't see. That's the thing about black y'all. Some I wish some of y'all get so educated in the law. If they go to the two people, and she says, "Hey, are you dating?" All the girl had to say, "No, I'm not dating her. I'm not dating him," and the boy
Like
had to say the same thing.
no,
I can't.
no. You know what you can
What does
do?
that do to me? What that
You
put
know what
me
you
in?
can do? You know when they
See, that's
go
the thing
out.
about it.
You
I
know
mean,
when
y'all black people, y'all quick to say something like, "Oh,
no.
go call the
So
police."
here's the problem. You want to instead of making an effort to try and resolve the situation, you just sat back and did nothing, and that can be
Well,
problematic.
if I say, yo,
That's
you're gonna do that to
problematic.
your daughter. If I say you're gonna do that to your daughter, I mean, honestly, I mean, it's easy to talk that when you're not in there, or probably you're not living with them, or you're not fucking with them.
I get
But
that.
see,
But
if
Joe,
so, it's
listen,
cool what you're saying now because you're not there or you're not fucking with that type of woman. So it's cool what you're saying, but I'm saying for some dudes who live with these women or they around these type of people, or probably they know that their daughter's fucking with that dope boy, but that girl's bringing in the money to pay the rent. See, you're not going to tell them to fuck up their money or they be out there in the street. See, it's easy to speak from these vantage points because you're not in that situation or you're not
So,
there on ground level with them. So
so
it's
I
easy
don't
to
think
say what you
anybody
say.
on this panel is afraid to tell anybody if they
No,
doing
no, no.
wrong, whatever they wrong. Uh,
No,
I
I
think the
think
problem is, and I understand, this motherfucker coming in with a hustle, and you like, oh shit, you don't want to fuck up the hustle. But if you doing it to where you fucking your kids up, then somebody's gonna speak on it. They're gonna say something. Now it might go in one ear and out the other, but at least you made the attempt rather than just sitting back and saying, well, you know what? That's
yeah, I feel like there are so many different variables and ways to went about that. You knew she was hooking up with this grown man. Like it's not that hard to be like, all right, I know she's gonna go
She's
here with this
15,
man.
he's 18. That's
I
3 years
know she's
apart.
gonna.
Depends on the
I
state.
no, it doesn't depend on the state.
you know,
Shit.
let me say something real quick. Let me say something real quick. Because my thing is, I done been on some on the ground stuff. Based on how Trav talk, I'm gonna assume he's done the same thing. I have literally stopped grown men from talking to girls. I've literally done this. I've seen men pull up on girls, and I went in there and said, "Joe, what you talking to them for? Leave them alone." All this type of stuff. I didn't get them to leave girls alone. Yes, I still do listen to R. Kelly music because, like I said, I'm not attaching people to whatever entertainment thing they do because I know the whole entertainment industry is corrupt. But who besides myself has actually stopped people from trying to mess with girls?
So you're going to, wait. So I'm going
What?
to let you take that shot at me, but you're
No,
going to
no,
say,
I'm
you
not. I'm not.
assume,
I'm not taking no. I'm not taking no
I don't
shot
know,
at
but
you.
you
What
said,
I'm
you
saying
just,
is,
no, but you clearly just said, I assume that because he didn't say nothing or do nothing, that he does that. That's what you said.
no, no. What I said when it comes to you, if you did see something and you knew about something, I do feel you should have said something to somebody. You could call the cops yourself. You could talk to a parent yourself. If you an adult, I know sometimes it's tricky, but you could put a girl in your car and drive her to her home and talk to her parents. It can be tricky with doing stuff like that. You can get the police involved. There's something that can be done if you're next to it. My thing is that has never happened next to me. Period. It just never had, and it's never going to happen
How many
next
of
to
y'all
me.
have ever had a gun pulled out on y'all?
I have.
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody in the panel hasn't had it.
Okay, so have you ever talked to somebody's female or somebody's girl that's holding their bag and they say, hey nigga, you step on my shit again, I'm gonna smoke your family.
Bro, I live in Chicago. I done heard all types of idle
you
quit.
came from versus where I roll from. But you talking to somebody's woman, whether you agree with it or not, it's either you lived another day or you got to worry about your house being shot up every goddamn night. And the police don't always come when you need them to come. So, again, like my daddy would say, you can be the hero, but that hero always in the ground being a zero. Like some people, you can save them, and it's that good gospel. Just like y'all didn't mind saying, oh, that woman, she has a choice to get out. Well, guess what? If she knows too much shit about that nigga, she probably can't get out like everybody else can get out. Like I don't live in no fantasy. I'm not gonna say some shit about a girl. Listen, if I know the girl, I'm just saying there's levels to different shit. I've been around kids who've been prostituted and being pimped out. If I can help them, if I can get them to safety, I would, and I did. But I'm not gonna be on some reckless shit saying, oh yeah, you dating a girl, I'm gonna go over there and break that shit up. But like, nigga, you trying to get my family, you trying to get my granny shot on going to church?
Bro, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I'm not saying you have to be reckless in your approach, but you got to do something.
Because this sounds a lot extra than what it is. Because I don't know how you went from, hey, listen, you probably shouldn't be talking to this 15, 16-year-old.
I told the mama, hey, you doing that. If I told the mama and I said, yo, you got your daughter doing that, and if I give her a few dollars or some shit like that, she's like, well, that's my nigga. I fuck with him. I like him. He takes care of me. That's gonna be up to her to make those decisions. Just the same way y'all don't mind talking about single mothers and y'all don't mind talking about hood rat bitches. Guess what? Y'all don't be trying to play we the righteous role one day, but then you saying single mothers need to get their shit together, but then you don't like the world or lifestyle that they live in. So it's called the hypocritical lifestyle.
There's nothing hypocrite about that, man. That don't even make sense. I'm sorry, Joe. That don't make sense.
I'm lost at this point. I don't even know where you trying to go with that one. I don't. Can somebody help me explain that one?
I'm saying, are y'all niggas willing to go be marrying and pulling up and saving single mothers? That's the first question I'm gonna ask y'all.
What do you mean? Well, yo, listen. All right. I'm back. Can I say something real quick?
Run that, Trav.
You don't got to be fucking somebody to care about their well-being, bro.
Exactly.
And nobody's saying that you need to be
that's all.
And hold some chick down. Well, all we're saying is at least make the effort to try and make. Now, some motherfuckers are gonna do what the fuck they do regardless. But if you just sat back and watched it, that's on you. Now, if you went out and you made it a point to say something, to do something, and you tried to do, that's all you had to do at that point. You did what you had to do because they was gonna do it regardless. But at least you went and made the effort.
Yeah,
there's the reason why you really talking to me before like I said, the reason why, like, before I really make a call like that, I'll ask certain questions and I'll see where people's heads is at, and I'll just know, yeah, let me just stay away from this person rather than help them.
I would agree.
This person doesn't even.
And see, and that's my thing too. When people can say a lot about me because like I said, I listen to R. Kelly music, but at the end of the day, when I see it in my face, because I've talked to carloads of niggas putting up on girls, they wasn't no girls I knew, but I still went in there like, Joe, why y'all even bothering them, man? Leave them alone. Don't mess with somebody else that's older. You know what I'm saying? I done literally done it, and I did it more than once. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to be reckless at what you do. There's different ways to approach different situations, but at the end of the day, you got to decide in yourself: are we gonna have a pro pedophile culture, or are we gonna be an anti pedophile culture? My thing is, I don't like people trying to play both sides of the fence. And I'm saying that as a person listening to music, I don't care nothing about his music. If he go to jail and can't make no more music, I don't care nothing about that. If he get convicted for being a pedophile, I care nothing about that. My thing is, let's not front about what we care about the dude, and if we're really trying to get him locked up, and he's still just one nigga. It's so many people out here that's messing with grown men when they girls. It's ridiculous.
Like I said, I seen more dope boys when I was in school, or older men hollering at younger females, or pretty much young dudes hollering at older females, and they get in the crib. Like I know there's, you know what, there's more younger boys now getting with older females and shacking up with them.
But you know what? I'll let you finish.
I'm just saying, like we see more, but I'm just saying that's when I go back to I go 20 minutes back to my old town, check on some of my old peeps, make sure that they got jobs so they can get to work or catch the RTA. But I'm like, listen, when I start seeing black men, it's like I'll see black men saying, "Black women, y'all need to get your shit together." But I'm like, yo, so how many single mothers are you helping out lately? Oh man, they need to get their pussy checked. Like I'm like, okay, nigga. So you're gonna damn them, but then you ain't trying to be down. You ain't trying to hear what they gotta say or how they trying to live their life. So I'm like, what did it? You play Jesus on the outside, but then again, you ain't willing to get down with them or fuck with them like that. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
That's nothing wrong with avoiding people that clearly have an issue. You know what I'm saying? A lot of single mothers do have issues, so yeah, why mess with them? So that's like a false equivalency. If somebody tell you to step your game up, that has nothing to do with you condoning bad behavior. That's what you're trying to compare somebody who needs to do better for themselves to condoning bad behavior. That's not the same thing. I'm sorry. That don't fit.
Now watch this, Roger. You didn't like it. You didn't like it when you were hearing black women saying that black men need to learn how to protect black women. But let that have been a thug or one of those dudes on the street that was watching that girl fight. Those niggas would have just jumped them. They would say, "Fuck my damn job. Fuck this shit." They wouldn't give zero fucks, but they don't got shit to lose. But see, that's the reckless nigga. They wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, like that, bro. To me, that's what manhood is all about.
Oh, okay. So, but I'm saying, we were just now saying, nah, those brothers should have kept their job. But the Ray Ray and Pookie, that the bad boys, that so many females like, the reckless nigga that y'all want to run out, that nigga would have fought for his bitch. Fuck all the dumb shit. He would say, "Fuck my job." I don't give a fuck. You touch my bitch.
But Joe, all that's doing is proving he's dumber than the other guys. The other guys have the situation the way he should have.
But see,
it don't make no difference.
Man, that shit has nothing to do. That shit has less to do with stupidity and more to do with this nigga being scared. Nobody wants to confront shit like that. Nobody wants to talk about that though.
I'm just saying.
No. What I'm saying about what he's trying to compare. When you talk about the kids that did what they did at McDonald's, they protected the woman without putting their jobs in jeopardy. Nothing wrong with that. A thug just going all crazy on him, yeah, he's not being situated in awareness. And when it turns bad for him because it didn't take all that, then that's just a burden he got to bear on his own. You can skin a cat more than one way, and you don't have to put yourself in jeopardy.
That's everything. That's everything in life, bro. You got to do shit on your own, bro. Like you have to take risk. Men take risks.
No. I'm not saying you don't take the risk, but I'm saying there's two ways to do it. You can do one in a way that you're still going to be okay while protecting the person. And
that's scary nigga talk, bro. I don't know.
That ain't scary. That ain't scary nigga talk. Period.
Let me slow y'all down. So I'm gonna try and bridge the gap. So, with Travis saying, had he seen the situation, he would have fired off on dude in McDonald's, right?
Exactly.
That's
okay. I would have cut him.
We not finna just incriminate ourselves today, Trav. So,
I'll tell you right now.
So where we at now is with Rico is saying that they were employees, so they took it as far as and jumped.
They did it the way they should have handled it.
They keep their job. Neither one is wrong. However, it's just different applications on how you look at it. Both them boys
but
job.
But I'm also saying this too. I'm also saying this. I understand what Travis said about he to hit the guy. I would hit the guy too myself if I was there because I don't work for McDonald's. I can maneuver the situation differently than they could. But the fact that they protected her while keeping their job is I'm not gonna say anything bad about them for protecting her while keeping their job. That is not wrong.
Hey, I have a question for you. If you worked at McDonald's, would you fire it off on him? And he did you was an employee there and you saw that situation. What would you have done?
I don't know why you asked Trav that question. He was
no, I'm curious because
and that's the type of man that these women go for. The bad boys.
Let me tell you, bro. Let me tell you. As soon as I see, like, it wouldn't even took me to see him putting hands on her. As soon as I seen he got like a little too crazy with his mouth, I would have said like, "Yo, you alright, bro?" Like or something. Like,
well.
And the second you step to dudes like that, you dig what I'm saying, and they see that you're just as hostile as they are, and it's somebody who's stronger than them or just as strong as they are. I mean, it's you gotta not only that, you gotta gauge this kind of shit too, because it's like I don't know what Shorty did to him. I don't know if I would have been walking in while dude was yelling, or what Shorty would have did whatever she did to violate that man and make him feel like he needed to do that. You dig what I'm saying? But
you would fight instead of worrying about your
questions and all that gay shit. Yeah, of course.
No. I'm saying worrying about your McDonald's pay. What is it like? Your dignity, and you would fight instead of worrying about your McDonald's paycheck. Because I heard somebody say you basically pick your dignity for a paycheck. Okay, just curious.
That's any paycheck. That's not even just a McDonald's paycheck. Any paycheck. I'm not gonna put my principle. I'm not gonna put a check or a job on my principle.
Now hold on now, Trav. Now I'm just saying these are the type of niggas, these are the bad boys, and I call him Trav a nigga, that these women were like, oh shit, he can get the draws because this nigga fuck logic.
Listen to what I'm saying, bro. The same attitude I have, the niggas who run the world have the same attitude, bro. They're gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do. Just because I got to deal with consequences and they don't make our ideologies any different.
We're consistent down the line. Regardless of what the situation is, he's going to act regardless of whatever position he's in, whatever's going on, he's going to act the same every single time.
He's going to be himself. And my thing is, there's nothing wrong with what he's saying on that note. But what I am saying is, point blank, period. Them boys stopped that girl from getting hurt. They did it the way they felt was good. They still rescued her. They didn't lose their job. They did the right thing. There's nothing negative that should be said about what they did. Period.
What you mean? Man, I still got they pussy. What you mean? I still got something negative to say. They pussy.
Okay, so if you want to say they pussy just because they protected a woman, you got to look at yourself on that one.
Wait. No, they didn't protect the woman. No. They didn't protect the woman. They grabbed her and they restrained her from defending herself. They didn't jump in.
They also pulled him away from her too.
Goddamn. No.
So let's because y'all getting in the mix. So I'm gonna separate y'all two, and we're gonna have everybody get in.
Oh my god.
So
no, I mean, Trav, cool. I don't mind what he's saying as far as that, because we do have to. I push. We got to protect women regardless. What I'm saying is, them teenagers at that McDonald's, they still did the right thing. They still rescued the girl. She did not catch a beat down. They didn't lose their job. They did it where it worked for everybody. Period. And I'm not gonna down them dudes because they still stepped in and made sure she didn't get hurt. And I'm not gonna down them just because they didn't get a dude the beat down, because he did stop once he noticed he had to deal with them boys.
Trav.
Yo.
You want to respond? You got your rebuttal. I know y'all was talking.
Man, you know how I feel, man. Like that shit. I don't know. That shit don't fly with me.
Okay, let's get a neutral.
If I knew any of them little niggas, I don't fuck with them no more. If I knew anybody in that video, who see not going down and then react accordingly. Me and them not cool no more.
That's the man y'all
React
need
like
to
that.
save the community.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Hey, why we treat these boys like they're supposed to be battle scarred warriors? They 16 and 17 years old. Y'all keep calling these boys pussy and shit. Like, do you know how difficult it is for a black man to bounce back from anything? There would have been 3-4 months instead of that girl standing up for herself. And them boys had jumped in and destroyed that guy. But them boys for combat.
We need doggone men fighting our
motherfuckers. Y'all act like they were 8 years old hunting damn lion in the Serengeti. These boys are warriors. Y'all spend too much time shaming black teenagers just for being kind of rough. You got to realize what era these boys are coming up in. Now, me personally, yeah, that white man would have been done. But there wasn't grown-ass men in that damn McDonald's. Those were teenagers. Teenagers were constantly told that kind of behavior is toxic. Period. That they can go to jail if they do anything. So, whatever.
And see, this is my thing. This is what I'm trying to say. I don't have a problem with Kraft saying what he would do, because at the end of the day, he's still gonna rescue the girl. I would have put my hands on dude, but I'm a grown man. I understand the law a little bit better than them boys do. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do what I need to do and still probably not even go to jail myself. You know what I'm saying? People got to move at a certain way based on what they know. Them teenage boys still protected that girl. They kept their jobs, and I have no issue with the fact that they wanted to keep their jobs too. So they still got to provide for somebody one day.
So what I would have done personally in this situation is I would have antagonized that man. I still would have stepped in the middle. I would have stepped in the middle. I would have made myself a dominant force and made sure that he understood he couldn't touch that woman. And I would have provoked him in some way so that he made an action against me so I could whip his ass with no consequences to myself.
But I thought Kev Francois said yesterday that's a problem.
What's the problem?
Basically antagonizing. He was like, the girl shouldn't have kept going back and forth.
She went back and antagonized him after the fact when she should have won the
he was saying from the beginning it was a problem.
Well, I mean, technically she shouldn't go back and forth with a customer, but regardless of that, he still can't put his hands on her.
You don't put your hands on her.
I said that was a dumb thing because even when she was, she kind of slightly turned and she was talking to her coworker that had just grabbed her. That man, or the coworker, was de-escalating the situation with her. That man still reached over the counter with his long ass arms and yanked her up.
And they still stopped her from catching a beat down without losing their jobs. And my thing is, I'm not gonna say anything negative about them dudes, because I need men to want to step in. They don't need to be shamed for stepping in, but they didn't go far enough. So all we gonna do is turn them niggas off from ever wanting to help. That's what we gonna end up doing.
Girl who might be again with R. Kelly.
Would you say?
Excuse me?
Would they help a female again with R. Kelly, or should they like, hey, I'm gonna go tell the police instead of keep her out of that car?
I just think he just saying.
Yeah, he's saying anything.
I'm just asking questions. That's all I'm asking.
I just don't understand how R. Kelly is out here in the streets walking around and he's cool.
Niggas from McDonald's. They
Well, the thing is, enough people don't actually care, and that's the whole light on that. But when it comes to these boys, they ain't R. Kelly. They ain't got all that money. You know what I'm saying? If we start putting in their head while they're young that if we're gonna talk about them and disrespect them and throw nasty words at them for helping somebody, they're gonna grow up and not do like all of us saying we would have did something if we was there. But we grown men. We could handle that and deal with the consequences. If we push that on those teenager boys, they're not going to do stuff in the future when something is happening around them. They're going to be like, man, no, y'all got to handle that yourself. And we don't need that to happen. And see, so Trav, that my thing is, see, I ain't trying to disrespect you because you still at least saying you would do something and get involved. So I like the fact that you would do that. What I don't want you to do is say stuff that'll make less men want to get involved. And I think if you calling the boys pussy, especially because they teenage boys, they're not gonna want to get involved later.
I mean, if they feel like that, as far as I'm concerned, we enemies. Like,
I want to explain. I want to explain what
Trav, we do
Roger
want other
said.
people that'll help, man. It's not enough of us that will help. I done heard other people on YouTube talking about if it happened in front of them, they wouldn't do nothing. Everybody ain't gonna help. We need more people that will help.
man, I'm not trying to convince nobody to do nothing that's obviously right. If they like, I really don't know what to say, bro. Like, the shit is the right thing to do. Like, if you don't want to do it, then
I understand that, but they teenagers.
Yeah, I don't know the way I see it, bro. If you see some fuck shit going on and you want some, oh, it's none of my business type shit, then we enemies. Like, I don't fuck with you.
Bro, I get what you're saying, Trap, but what I'm saying is me and you and the other guys on the panel, we all grown. We can jump in and deal with what happens once we jump in. But if we start attacking these boys even verbally, when they get our age, what are they gonna do?
I mean, like, even when they're young, it's just like, to me, them being young, they should jump up even faster. What the fuck? You probably ain't gonna have no bail. You probably gonna have your parents pick you up and you go to court. You probably get a little probation, probably 3, 4, or probably a couple months in YDC. Like, supposed to be scared for them for that?
No, bro.
Anyway, you can do a summer or do a winter in YDC. You should have probably get the little niggas' mind right.
No, I mean, Trav, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying they're gonna look at it from their teenage perspective versus our grown men perspective. We know how we could have got in and did way more than them, but they're not at that age. They don't have our life experience.
I hear what you said. I think that probably, like, my overall stance on the situation comes from me being around a bunch of teenagers and they do whatever I say. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I get that, but we don't know who raising them either, though.
True.
So all I'm saying to you, I agree with you that see, we as men, we all would have did more. So I'm in agreement with you there. I'm just saying, if they feel like they're getting shamed for trying to help at their young ages, that's gonna make them 25 and 35-year-old grown men talking this other shit that I hear other people saying. Well, I just wouldn't do nothing because you don't know what's going. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put them in that type of mindset.
I want to ask this question. So why is it different with Trav? And he's calling them pussies and all types of shit. And yesterday, yesterday, me and you, Roger, I said that everybody did great as a collective.
And I told you I didn't agree with that. I said,
wait. Can I finish? You wanted me to
say that. Go ahead.
Let her get the floor. You got time to respond. Go ahead.
That these little boys were heroes. I said no. I said they all collectively did good in a situation that they didn't know or have a handbook or any training to do. But if he's saying they're pussies and they're this and they're that, it's kind of weird that with him it's like, oh, it's okay. Like,
no, I'm still disagreeing with him.
But you want to argue with me?
No, I'm disagreeing with him. And what I'm also doing is what me and him talking about is totally different than what me and you talked about. What me and him talking about is how to properly handle a situation for those boys. What the problem with you is that you don't want to acknowledge the fact that that girl could not save herself. Them boys literally saved her. That's two total different things.
You didn't want to acknowledge that the
girl did not do good. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She could not fight off her attacker. That is a total disagreement with what you're saying. She could not fight off her attacker.
McDonald's training video for fighting. Donnie, make a McDonald's training video.
A McDonald's bar fight.
Nigga. I just thought that was kind of weird. Like me, I feel like those boys, as kids or young men, did what they thought was okay. They collectively did okay.
Let me say this.
But you also said they didn't save her. You also said they did not save her.
I find it funny, people on this panel, we all had this conversation today.
So let me say this. Travis my nigga, but I feel like Travis fucking wrong. It's funny the way he look at it, but Trav feel how you feel, and that's how you feel. So I'm not gonna fault him for that. because he stick to his principles and and this is how he is every day of the week in every situation. I don't feel like them boys was pussy for not beating that white dude up to bloody pulp and all that extra shit.
I was
feel
through hot grease on that nigga.
What'd you say?
I was through hot
You
grease on that
definitely
nigga.
going to jail, man. Where your ass going, bro?
Man, listen, I don't like. I feel like my show's gonna be using Trav's arraignment and shit. They're gonna be like, yeah, let's play footage of this TV show he was on. He was talking about cutting niggas doing all that. Listen, Trav, stop telling
They
me.
gonna hit him with that Bobby
You
Shmurda.
might have to get that beat bump for Trav. Yeah, that nigga be saying some incriminating shit. Like,
Now, but the whole thing is Trav is a grown man with life experience though. That's not what those boys were.
that nigga told nigga, he some niggas.
Say
Trav,
what?
Trav is also the Jolly Green Negro. This nigga is the nigga from Green Mile. Trav is like 6'10".
It don't make no difference. It don't
Okay,
that don't
you gotta put a
make
slug in that nigga. Okay, my bad.
he still is a grown man with life experience. Them boys are not that. Period. And my thing is, if we start attacking boys for trying to save people, period, they're gonna grow up and decide they don't want to touch the problem no more. They're gonna be
Like
out
low
of
key
it.
at the same time, me keeping it real, I probably wouldn't even be as harsh with a younger dude. I probably like still say what I gotta say. Like, but bro, I wouldn't be as heavy handed, but I'd let them know, like, bro, you can't watch no shit like that go down. Like that's, what I'm saying, that's pussy shit. Like, I'll still like express to them that I know that they probably never dealt with a situation like that before, and that you know what I'm saying, they'll have other chances to really like make better decisions. You dig? Like I'm not gonna really act like, you know what I'm saying, that defines who they are forever type shit. Like,
Okay, well, I mean, then that's better because my thing is I'm concerned with the message these boys are getting. Because at the end of the day, when stuff go down, when it comes to all the black men, all of us ain't gonna jump in. It's enough niggas I done heard literally say they wouldn't do nothing. We don't need less people that'll say they'll jump in. That's my whole point. But when it comes to Rain, the issue with you is when it comes to black women, just like
You,
yourself, if
I
you don't
didn't
even
say what you
acknowledge
wanted
them,
me to say.
if you
That was the issue. I acknowledged all of them. I
no, you did.
acknowledged all of them.
You literally,
I
Rain. You literally said by the words that you used that them boys did not save that girl. You literally said they didn't save that girl.
I said
So that,
they all did great
yeah,
collectively,
yes, and you
and
also
I didn't
explained
say.
exactly what you mean, and you said they did not
I feel
save
like
them
the
that
girl did what
girl.
she had to do. I don't want to say. I don't think they saved her, but they helped her. They helped her. Yes, they got in
And
and
my
helped her
thing
to
is
school. And you know
that's a
what?
problem. That's a problem.
It's a problem. How?
Yes, because when them boys literally did save her because that girl could not save herself. She literally could not. She
We
proved it on
actually
the
don't
video.
know what.
All
No,
right.
no,
No.
we do know because she couldn't do
Hold
it
on,
on the
y'all gonna
video.
run this back and
Take up
forth.
the topic.
Y'all gonna run this
Yeah.
back and forth.
They're about to be the whole show right here, Donnie.
We gonna run this. We gonna
Okay.
sidestep this. We're gonna sidestep this conversation. How about
Okay.
this? In terms of the black community and you as a man out here, with because I think the only ones with kids are Cat. Well, I guess Rain has kid. Rain, Cat, and Joe, and Nicole. So, how do you prevent your children from being in a scenario where they are potentially abused? And I just want an insight on it. How do you prevent your children from being in a scenario? Everybody has girls, so you should be able to speak on this.
You want me to go first? I mean,
Go first.
First thing you should do is you need to start teaching your kids about like situational awareness, like safe touch, other people's emotions. If you feel uncomfortable, like people should already have that general knowledge of feeling uncomfortable. Like when you're around somebody, like you can start feeling like something doesn't feel right. When you start telling your kid, hey, you don't like the way this is going, get away from it. My kid told me that when they came to their teacher was making them feel comfortable. They said, hey, I would like to go to the guidance counselor. We found out the teacher was saying some stuff out of pocket. But see, I teach my kids the steps. Now, as they get older, I'm going to start teaching them how to de-escalate situations, to also know how to deal with competition. My sons and my daughters have dealt with bullies. They know how to kick for the groin, run away. I teach them that. I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna send them into the wilderness, not being able to defend themselves. But I also don't teach them to go seek out conflict, but how to, if need be, handle it until you can get backup or your brother or sisters get there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's strength in numbers, you know what I'm saying? But I also let them know, like, hey, I want them to be aware of what could happen if they're not properly prepared. So that's something as parents, especially as little girls, whenever a man starts saying certain stuff, I look for my daughters to hear key words. So my daughters won't even let their great uncle get around them. When he starts to drink, they run away. They don't play that game with him. And I'm glad that they do that. So he gets mad. Why don't they play with me? Why don't they want to, go outside? Like, no, you're drunk. They don't like you when you're drinking. So they don't like you when you're drinking. You can't touch them. That's their right as young adults. But they're not going to be disrespectful, but they know what to be mindful of. That's just me. So I'll stop right there.
Okay. What about you, Nicole? How about Nicole?
Like that's one thing. I mean, this is off
What?
topic, but that's like one thing I kind of learned to do. Like I try not to even be like high or like intoxicated around children at all. Like
It's a weird feeling of being drunk and high around children. Like it's just weird.
not only that, it's just like you're not in a proper state to protect them if something goes down. Like
It's a fair point. But let me get Nicole's statement on it because she got a little girl, I think. So Nicole,
So I don't know. I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't
how do you
know.
prepare your kids against being abused? All of that, somebody coming in and touching a kid. You don't. I'm sure you don't want that. Nobody wants that for their child. So how do you prepare your children for that?
Uh, I don't. I mean, I don't really. I don't know. I don't leave my kids with anyone, so I have them with me. Like I've never had a sitter or like put them in daycare or anything. They have a nanny, but my kids aren't left with any strangers ever.
Hmm. Okay, all right. What about you, Rain?
What's up?
Mm,
You said what was the question?
So how are you keeping your kids from being abused, and how do you keep them from being abused later on, domestic and all that? What do you do
You
instilling your
gotta
children
you
that this
gotta
doesn't happen?
one, you gotta sit down and have, and it's not just one talk. You have to have multiple sit down, talk to them, and just keep in touch with them about their daily, things that go on in their lives and stuff. You got to explain good touch, bad touch. You got to really instill that because kids, it's so easily to tell a kid like this is good, this will make you feel good and stuff like that. Like, no, we got to explain to our children, especially our daughters, like this is not a good thing to do. This is not a good feeling. Like if somebody does this to you, you need to let someone know and don't be afraid because a lot of times, especially in the Black community, um, kids will tell and parents don't believe you, or parents be in denial. That's actually more in denial. So we gotta explain to the kids like don't be scared. Tell us we're not gonna be mad. We're here to help you. We're your parents. We love you, and we're gonna always be there for you. Like if you don't do that, I think you're kind of failing your children. You gotta be 100 with them about this whole situation because nowadays anybody can touch your kid. You never know anybody.
Okay, and then we got the always precise black men being brutally honest kid.
First of all, just awareness, teaching. Teaching a kid what to look for, making sure that your kid is comfortable enough with you to come and tell you anything. Although you probably might not get perfection with that, just like my daughter's 4, so it's just me constantly letting her know that it's okay to come talk to her parents about anything that's bothering her. And most of all, being an example by what, to her on how I treat people, especially her. She knows If she knows what a good man is through her father being that example, then she'll know what a bad man is when she runs into it. Uh, so depending on how you raise your kids, you want to make sure that the red flags are thrown up at the right time whenever something happens with her. And it's self defense training. We were thinking about getting that started real soon. So just little things. You can never ever be prepared when something really happens. The only thing you can do is take preventative measures to make sure that if something is close to happening, then you can be in position to do something about it at least. Um, I just pray that nothing like that ever happens to my child, being that me and her mother are her key caretakers. So, so if anything happens to our child, I would definitely feel like it's my fault that something happened. So, just that.
Um, let me say this. Um, like I have I have two beautiful daughters, and parents should already one thing that as parents that we need to do is always reinforce to tell a young girl their self-worth. If you don't do that and administer it properly, not to where they overfeel themselves, but to properly know, like, hey, you are beautiful. If you don't give them the affection that they need, somebody else out there in the world will. And it's a dangerous world out there. Again, this is why my kids and shout out to the brother who said, hey, he tries to make sure he's not intoxicated. And that was some good advice. I encourage people, listen, you have to have that some sort of talk with your child about these type of things. So that way, because some parents, first thing about a predator, they'll always say, hey, don't this feel good? Don't you know why they keep saying that to the child? So that way the child will not feel but the child already feels uncomfortable. No child wants their little kichi or their little wee wee touch. I'm telling you from somebody who has been sexually abused when I was a child by grown women. Like nobody wants to be touched. The child can tell. They can tell because something about it just feels awkward about it. And you have to be very wary of these things. Why do you want to be alone with my child? Why do you want to go take my kid out? Why do you come around? Oh, y'all get what I'm saying? So
I mean, I get it.
I
these
mean, I
kind of
get it, but
things,
it's like low key it's low key kind of fucked up, bro. Because it's like, I mean, like, I'm not saying the way you feel is bad, but it's just like it's low key that we even like live in
We
a
have to do
world like
this.
that, bro. Because that's word to life.
I get what you're
I
saying,
don't have
Terrence.
no children myself. You think what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's children who I genuinely feel that way about. Like, yo, I'm like, let's. But at the same time, just me knowing how fucked up the world is, I'll still like let like my homeboy know, like, yeah, man, I want to like go get them a shirt or something. Let's go to the mall. I'm gonna invite them with me. I'm not gonna be on no shit where you dig what I'm
I,
saying. I'm gonna
I
be
get
like,
what you're
yeah,
saying,
let me
Taz,
go
and
by
you can
myself
mean
with this
well.
child this place. Like,
Right.
but I know if I did, you know, take them out somewhere, I wouldn't be trying to like do no weird shit. Like,
I feel
I
you.
just
So,
Listen, man.
feel
I'm
like
not
it is
holding you.
so let me
also
I'm not.
do this.
acknowledge
So let me
that
do this.
little boys can be abused too. Because we keep saying girls, and a lot of times our sons are getting abused right under our noses, way more than sometimes even girls. So I
well,
just want to put
I'm
that
talking
out
about
there.
children in general. You right though.
Yeah, no, right. And I
That's
mean,
all
like I
I'm
said,
saying.
to kids, listen, nobody does, listen, man, so many black kids go sexually abused and they never say anything. And we wonder why they prey on the innocence, man. Like it's the thing about, and I get tagged. You could probably be that good brother who's like, "Yo, man, son, I see you need some sneakers or something going on. Let me go take." You know what I'm saying? You would probably have that in your heart to go do that. Probably all of you brothers do. But I'm like, it's getting so bad out where it's like when you get your own, is be careful for nothing. Like the only people who have literally taken my children from this house, and that takes a lot of damn trust, is my mama. That's it. My mom was the only one that's had. Hell, my damn sons went to their granddaddy house. Once I found out that nigga was beating my damn sons, I said, listen, nigga, I don't want to have to kill you, James. But if you hit my sons again, I will kill you, my nigga. Like, and I told it to my own father. Because the thing about it is, listen, man, nobody is sometimes it's the people closest to you that do the most harm to your children. And this is why I try to tell a lot of people, like, listen, don't come around my kids drunk. Don't come around my kids fucked up. Don't come around my kids bunked up. I don't want to have to hurt you, my nigga, because you might say something slip out the tongue. You know what I'm saying? And when kids look up to us, and what they see is what they're going to want to be. They see a strong black man like Tabs who works out, who says, listen, protect your women, take care of the family. They're going to believe in that. So if you in that kind of innocence, that's the thing about it. When somebody goes to recruit, do they go after the older people or do they go after the younger and more personal people? They go after the younger ones because they want to believe in something. Whether it be good or bad, they're going to go after that. I'm telling you this because I was sold into child prostitution at a young age for 2 years. I don't play with that shit. I have no problem blasting a nigga's fucking chest out.
So this is the domestic violence, the abuse show. So I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about that.
If somebody hears this, Donnie, and they don't have to go through the shit and hell I went through, then guess what? Your show did its job, brother. The thing about it is a lot of black men won't say or tell like, yo, I was sexually abused at a young age.
Do you mind?
Like that would make them weak. Huh?
Do you mind giving details? Like, how did you get into that situation? What happened to where you were in that situation?
My cousin sold me for $50 to a black woman. That was it. Black woman came in the room and said, I'm going to make you feel good. You know, I was scared. I was scared. I wanted to get away, but where the hell can I go? I'm in my own house. The door is closed. Huh?
How old were you?
I was only 13. The woman was 28 years old. Huh?
Did this persist for a long time? I'm just kidding. Yeah. I've never heard any story like this. So I'm just like, I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about this.
Listen, it took me, you know what? It took me close to 10 to 12 years to just tell my mom that happened. It took me 10 to 12 years. Like I hated my mom, I hated my dad. I hated a lot of people.
How did your mother respond to that news?
My mom didn't know how to take it. She didn't know how to take. Like, what parent would know how to take that? Yo, for 2 years, my kid was a doggone was sold like that. Like, she was like, Josiah, what can I do? I said, what can you do? You can't go back in the past. You can't go get my innocent. You can't go save me for hours of time where if I didn't make $50 or I didn't make $200 a day, I got beat. Like, you can't save me from that shit. That was me being trained by a black. I have every reason in the world. If I wanted to be gay, if I wanted to hate black women, I could say that shit and not a damn soul on this panel could ever judge me. And but you know what? I still learn to try to love my black people and my women. I know I come off really cutthroat and hard, but I got my reasons. But I'm saying, but when it comes to kids, and Kevin, we talked about it. We don't fuck around when it comes to kids. Because that I seen that shit. Like again, the girl who was with that 15-year-old dude, I used to, the only reason why I stayed with her mama was I used to go over there and put food in her fridge so the girl didn't have to ask her nigga for food. I said, yo, my boyfriend coming over. I said, I'll tell you what, we about to go out for pizza. And we also gonna take your brother to go-karting. She would want to go. She's like, but she's still a kid. She didn't want to go hang up in some nigga's house and have to go lay on her back. So guess what? She wants to, I want to go too. But I didn't have that kind of money and funds like that. But I knew that some part of her innocence, she wanted to go. But the thing about it, I get some people say, yes, I was that dude. Yeah, I sold some dime bag. I did some shit I'm not proud of. But the thing about it is there are so many ways and it's getting harder to actually say this thing. Did we know about things like R. Kelly? Yes. Are there niggas who are preying upon people? I said yes. And I agree. These niggas need to be called out. There's a reason why the black young man is more effeminate and more subjectified than ever because his ass is getting pimped out and it's getting harder. Like I said, I had to deal with this shit for 2 years. I seen many kids walked up into bedrooms, doors closed behind them by women and men, some couples and shit. Like I said, man, if you gonna boy, it's a lot of people you're gonna call out. And I think the thing about it is this: since the R. Kelly situation happened, now we find out. Oh, Prince was with a 16-year-old. Michael Jackson was sleeping with kids in the bed.
Michael
Like there's a
Jackson.
lot of motherfuckers.
Hold on now. Let's
I don't
not
actually
talk about-
believe Michael Jackson did that. Yeah, I don't believe that at all. I just
Okay,
don't believe it.
The little boy
no, he had
came
sleep.
back
Michael
and
Jackson had
said
sleepovers.
lying.
Yeah, he had sleepovers, but he was
No.
helping little kids out. All the little kids that said that he molested them came out when they were adults and said we lied. We had to lie because our parents told us. So let's not condone.
I just want to ask Joe a question. So, Joe, I understand. I hate that you went through that as a kid, and that's a crazy situation to be in. But don't you?
Don't I what?
I feel like with you going through that situation and you seeing that girl dating this older man, wouldn't that push you even harder to find a way to tell somebody to help her instead of letting her mom sell her off to him?
By me doing the things I did do, that was still in a way me protecting her.
No,
Nah, like I understand, but like, shorty,
listen, man.
Can I say something real quick?
All right, go ahead.
All right, so boom, shorty. The reason why he really couldn't do nothing is because he'd have to really like I'm not even gonna like say like dude's a coward for not doing, but he'd have to really put himself out there. Like for one, he'd probably have to like endanger the friendship for one, because you can't do things like that anonymously. Like there's no such thing. You have to like you're gonna have to go to the police for one, and if you go to the police and things do escalate, you're gonna
report crimes anonymously. There are hotlines where
that's bullshit. Like you're not gonna get people caught that way. Like you would really have to go out on a limb. You would have to call out the moms. You're gonna have to pretty much extinguish the friendships. You dig what I'm saying? Because even the situation being that it is, nobody wants somebody telling on their mom. So after you do that, you're not even gonna be cool with them no more. You dig what I'm saying? Because their life is gonna be low key in shambles at that point.
That's crazy because I'm not just gonna. I would rather save my friend's life in the long run than worry about a fucking friendship. If you truly care about your friend, you would do something about it. I feel like that situation can happen. I get what you're saying, Trav. But if you truly love your friend, you will go do whatever by any means necessary to save them from the situation.
I mean, like doing for them is one thing, but I'd have a serious conversation with them and see what they want to do first. You dig what I'm saying? And I'd let them know like I'm willing to do whatever I'm willing to do to help you. And if they make the conscious decision can I finish, please?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
If they make the conscious decision to stay in that situation after I explain I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z for them, at that point I can't even fuck with them no more, because it's just like me and you know what's going on. I see what's going on. I'm telling you, I'm willing to do whatever I can to help you. You dig what I'm saying? And you're still like tiptoeing. You dig what I'm saying? Like at that point, like I can't really. You made your own choice at that point. You dig what I'm saying? If we have an open and or if you see that people are psychologically blocked from even like speaking on that, then you would probably have to take the kind of action you're speaking on. You dig what I'm saying? But that and a lot of the time, man, when you confront people about these kind of things, they're gonna dance around it. They're not gonna wanna confront it in the way it needs to be confronted.
Yeah, I feel like not doing anything, that's still being a part of the problem. And we keep saying, we need to give
them. Like, just say that you don't like, but to say that people are part of the problem for not doing that shit, like that's like you're not.
Do y'all feel like what I did wasn't enough? In a sense, do y'all feel? I mean, you can tell me.
I feel like what you did was like. I mean, like I'm gonna say like you could have took more of brash action, but I don't feel like you know what I'm saying. You did everything that you thought you could do.
Like when I saw, put it like this: when When her brother came home with a pistol, but he was going to join the gang, I paid for him. I paid for him to go join Little League football. When she was fucking with him, I helped her get a job working at Dollar Tree. So I did what I could within my limiters. But see, sometimes depending on the situation where you at or where you in, because mind you, whenever you go do these kind of things, you got for police. This is one thing the police always say. If you ever deal with the police, they say we got to get written statements to convict the person.
Exactly.
Okay, now hold on now. So the girl, she don't want to lose her mama, and the boy don't want to leave.
Exactly.
So I get y'all saying, listen, like for me, some people say, well, Joe, why didn't you just run away? Well, my little brother's there. As long as they're fucking with me, to me, that's fine. I'd rather them fuck with me than fuck with my little brother. Yeah. Maybe it may not been a fight for some people, but that's me fighting back. But I'd rather them destroy my body and do what they got to do than touch my little brother. And my little brother cried when he found out everything that happened to me. He's like, Josiah, why didn't you tell me we could have fought together? I said, Joshua, you only just a child. You just a baby. I was a teenager. They weren't going to touch you as long as they were fucking with me. Those times you saw me come down the stairs bruised up or beat up, it was okay. As long as I knew you was eating pork and beans and rice or they didn't touch you, like that shit hurt him. But the thing about it is there's some things, some people, it's easy. That's why I said it's easy when you're not there, when you're not the one in the shackles. So only way I got free was because doggone it, somebody put me into another different lifestyle of stealing and robbing. So I went from one bad situation to another. Like I'm blessed where I am today. And I'm very protective. Now, I understand, like Rain saying, well, Joe, wouldn't that want to propel you to want to do with people who are sexual victims? And I'm like, yes, I do try to do what I can. But one thing about it, when people are in certain states of matter, depending on where their mindset is, if we can know a girl, we can know a woman, just like Kev told a story, you can know the woman is being abused. But if she does not try or mentally want out of that situation, you can't do nothing. Not unless you can get them to say, yo, I want out. I want to be free. Because they're going to go right back. And I've seen it happen plenty of times. Girls get out the house. They go right back to the nigga. The nigga, look at Rihanna. Rihanna, Chris Brown beat her ass. What did Rihanna do a few weeks later? Go right back to Chris Brown. Right back. She didn't give a fuck what people said about it. She went right back to the nigga. Regardless of what people say about that shit. The thing about it is, it depends on the woman. And so we know some dudes who get their hands put on by the woman. You be like, dog, why you let her put her hand on her? Man, she my baby mama, man. I mean, it is what it is. Like,
I mean, I feel like...
Let me say... Oh, go ahead.
I feel like at the same time, it's like this is the reason why, like, this is the reason why I said, like, after you get them, sometimes you can see people have the mental block. You think what I'm saying? They'll be delusional about what's going on. This is the reason why I said once I deal with people and I let them know that, yo, I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z to help you, and they still make the decision to do whatever. You dig what I'm saying? Whatever the situation may be. At that point, I gotta kind of like, it's when I say stop fucking with them, it's not because I have sour feelings. It's because I just can't deal with the mental anguish. You dig what I'm saying? It takes too much of an emotional toll on me to see you going through this and me knowing I'm willing to help you. And to see you continue to go through the whatever emotions you're going through. You dig what I'm saying? Like at that point, I got to stop fucking with you because it takes too much energy out of me, especially after I tried to help. It's one thing if I don't try to help and I just see somebody in an unfavorable position and I'm just like, yeah, they're weirdo. I'm not fucking with them. You dig what I'm saying? It's not a situation like that. But that's the reason why I think it's best when you do let them know. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to help. It's best to go on your own way. You dig? Like,
so let me extend this because at this point you ain't shit that really cares. You ain't shit really wants to heal. We have one of those moments.
Oh my God.
Is there anybody else on the panel that has a story or that would like to share a situation of abuse or something that they kind of overcame? Because I feel like at this point, everybody listening is building some confidence, listening to you and understand that they can push through whatever their pain is.
I
Anybody?
have a story, but I wasn't the abuser. I was kind of like the person to help the abuser, not the abuser, but the person being abused.
Speak up, baby. Speak up, baby. Go ahead, speak
So
up, baby.
everyone knows I used to be a stripper. Cool, whatever. Yeah. So it was a girl that I was beefing with. Like we would probably like argue every day. Mm, almost came to blows some days, but it is what it is. I remember she had a pimp, and he had like how many his stable of hoes, I would say, like he had three of them. He had two black girls and a white girl, and the one black girl worked at a different club, and the black girl I was beefing with, and the white girl worked at club I worked at, and he did a usual routine. He would drop them off, leave, come back, kick with everybody at the club. He was cool with the club managers. It was crazy. Like so, one time, I remember sitting with a customer, and I want to say it was probably about 8 o'clock, and she she had came in, she was getting dressed, and she went into the manager's office. She come back out, and she went to the door. Now, if you know anything about dancing, you can't go outside dressed how we are dressed. Actually, I think you can go outside dressed like that, but you can't wear your heels. So she opened the door and said something
Yeah, it
to
makes you
her
take your heels
pimp.
off. You put your jacket on.
Yeah. She said something to her pimp. I think they were exchanging words. And all I remember was she was like, I heard her say, yeah, whatever. She turns her back. She walks off. He comes in and he just knocks. Oh my God. I saw her wig probably kind of like slid to the side. Like he was beating her. I didn't
Bitch.
know what. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like me, I've never seen anything like that in person. Like me personally, I've had fights with guys, but that's different. But I've never seen a
You're here
man
taking
just
thought
lay
fights.
his shut up, lay his hands on a woman like that. All I remember was like me. I know I can't do much, but I ran over there in my heels. Like we were trying to break them up. I was like, no, fuck that. Don't hit her. I picked her up off the ground. She goes into the manager's office. I was like, what the fuck? They put him out. I go get her some water. Now, me thinking, I was like, here you go. And like I said, I don't like the girl. But at that moment, like, I don't care how much I don't like somebody. I'm not letting that shit slide. Fuck that. You don't need to put your hands on the woman. Now, of course, a couple days go by. So she was pretty fucked up. I think she left him. So she was still coming to work though. And, he had the other girls. So one day she I think she was standing by the bar. He came in and it was so crazy because everybody was like, you could feel the thickness in the room. He put his hands on her again. I was like, yo, this shit's wild. After that, I think he got banned from the club or whatever. But I was just kind of like, wow, like this shit's crazy. And like after that, like she was scared to leave. So she started, I said, fuck it. Like, you don't have a car. I have a car. I know, we're fixing our relationship. I started taking her home with me. I'm like, you got a room? If you don't got a room, you can sleep on my couch. It is what it is. Every day we would go, like me and a couple of other strippers, we would all go have breakfast and I would drop them off at home on my way home. Like,
You was a stripper house.
ah. What'd you say?
Was
It's
a stripper
always
mother
mine.
mother hen.
I just felt because no, I don't want her to try to figure out how to get home, and he knows she don't have a ride and be waiting on her, and you
Yeah, you
know,
was a stripper mother
the
hen. Yes, I got you. That's cool.
fuck you. So like, hey, up until the point like we all until we all stopped working there, we all rode to work. I would drop them off. I wouldn't pick them up. Like we would all go to Denny's, IHOP, Waffle House, whatever. Sit, crack jokes, everything. We build a relationship off of that. I thought that was kind of crazy, but like it's abuse is nothing to fucking joke around with. And it was hard for her to leave that man because that's all she knew for like 8 years. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that seemed like a whole
Oh,
Scenario.
I want to say this. You know, well, I'm gonna say this just for the listener because I know Joe was saying some certain things, and my thing is just I don't feel it's never right to press upon children trying to protect people the way grown people do. Because it sounded like Joe was saying something about doing protection, even though he wasn't grown yet. Grown people can definitely do things that children cannot do. So it's definitely gonna be a different level. That's all I'm saying. Because it just the way certain stuff run in. And just me personally, I don't like when people have a certain conversation where you say stuff about kids, but then you move to grown-ups. Because to me, children is just a whole different section that should be just separated when it comes to adult talk, because adults can do stuff that kids cannot, and we should be more prepared to do stuff that kids are not prepared to do. That's all I'm saying on that.
Shit. There you go.
thank you, Rasby.
Oh shit. Okay, you got you get rain wind tonight. Rain wind tonight. I've been trying to come up with one for him, but you do it. Call this nigga Rasby. Rajon Rondo.
You already used that one.
Rick James. Habitual line stepper, nigga.
Oh God, don't get him started.
Okay, so in terms of the black community, we have an understanding that it's almost become it legitimately almost has become normalized, this whole pedophile mindset. Because I think everybody on this panel knows somebody when they was a kid that was dating somebody older than them, which meant somebody older was dating somebody younger. Do you think that this is strictly a problem in the black community, or do you think this is a problem across the board?
I think it's a problem.
I think
everywhere.
it is. But what I was about to say.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I think the reason our problem persists is because we're more willing to call out men, but we don't call out the women, because women protect these pedophiles and they get involved with these pedophiles, and because we're not attacking it from both sides, it's gonna just keep growing. See, everybody quick to call out a man because a man's gonna serve a penalty. See, women don't really serve penalties for doing this. When you're the girl, of course you're not gonna serve a penalty because you're a child. But it's just too many women that allow it to happen, and we just no one wants to pay attention to it. Because like I said, around me, I've never let something like that go down. Period. I just haven't, and I don't even have kids myself. So if I can make an effort to protect children, I know other people can.
I have a question. Did anybody on this panel date anybody because right now I had this conversation with you the other day, so I'm kind of curious. Like, anybody date an older person under the age of while you were under the age of 18?
Cool.
Okay, wait. Let me change that.
I did.
Under the age of 17.
Yeah. I was
Me, I did, but I don't feel like it was like predatory at all, because it's like.
Okay,
mean,
let me
like-
rephrase the question. Under the age
why do you feel like it wasn't predatory?
Well, I don't feel like it was predatory because, like, for example, when I was 17, majority of the dudes I hung around was like 20, 22, 23, 24 years old. And it's like, she didn't know my age until after the fact. You dig? Like, not really after the fact, after I had sex with her. You dig what I'm saying? She didn't know my age. I was 17 years old at the time. And she was like 22.
So let me put you in the same lane. Let me say this: if a chick was out here with her older friend, cousins, or whatever, she fuck with a whole bunch of people that is older, and this dude sleeps with her under the impression that she's under the same age, do you hold that man under the same light as you would that woman?
Somebody got a lot of background noise.
Yeah, that's somebody's stuff.
That might be me. I'm sorry.
But this is what I'm saying. So Trav feels like because he was 17, but he was hanging out with older dudes, that chick get a pass. However, I'm just curious if the chick in the same situation who's hanging out with older women, does the dude who fucked her and didn't ask the question of how old she was, everything else, does he get a pass on fucking a 17-year-old?
I think
Wait,
it depends.
did
I think
she?
it depends because, like, I feel like if she's like, if she know what the deal is and she's being aggressive as I was, which most women wouldn't be. You dig what I'm saying? But if I feel like if a woman was being as aggressive as I was with her, like, nah, like you dig, like,
How old? I mean, did you tell? Did she ever ask you your age? Did you tell her your age?
yeah, she asked my well, yeah, she asked my
After
age
I was
after a
12.
while
That
because
nigga
No,
like,
no, no.
lied in the
I
beginning,
I'm
didn't
bro.
lie,
talking
I kept it G, I kept it
All
about.
100. I'm like, nah, I'm
I just don't
17,
see a
like.
person. I don't see a woman not ask how old are you. I think that's kind of weird, but
No, because it's a
I
lot of
mean,
women.
like, nah. Don't misunderstand me. Like, you, what you saying makes sense, but it's just like, even at that age, I'm bigger than majority of the dudes who I'm hanging around. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I had more facial hair than some of the dudes I was hanging around. You dig what I'm
Uh,
saying? So they just knew it
so
just wasn't their thing to ask. Like,
well, because of your height, I can understand a woman just simply assuming you're older. Because you say you sit
exactly.
well, Brandon said you like
okay, did you
6'10"
stop
now, so I
after
can
she knew
figure
your
why
Should
they
age?
would
she go to
assume that.
jail?
Huh?
Should she go to
Did she
jail?
stop?
How? Why would you go to jail? I ain't no rat. What you mean?
So
No, all I'm saying, no,
wait,
no,
wait,
no.
wait.
If I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
let's say if she got, let's say you slipped up, you got her pregnant. Okay.
Yeah,
Now you slipped up, got her pregnant, but let's say you 17, but she a grown woman, but
yeah.
you know you still a minor.
Hmm.
Should she be doing time for having sex with a minor?
Right. That's what I was getting at,
I
Joe.
mean,
I'm kind of curious if after y'all had sex and she knew how
yeah,
old you were, you
She keep on
stopped
fucking.
fucking.
yeah. Say that again.
After y'all had sex and she found out how old you really were, did she stop fucking with you?
I mean, like,
No.
Yes or
she
no?
That's
tried
based
to.
on if Brad put
No,
it down. Did Brad put it
no.
down?
Then
Yeah.
technically, then that's a problem. She's
Huh?
wrong.
Huh?
Oh,
I'm gonna just call
uh,
it how I see it.
You got to go
You
knock
want
her
to keep
out.
it, and if we're gonna do R. Kelly like this, and we're gonna do all these predators like this, she if she would have left you alone after she knew your age, she would have got a pass. But since she kept fucking with
Oh,
you,
that
he
would
doesn't
have
get
been
a
a
pass.
mm, I hear
Well,
you.
that's in our society. You know what I'm saying. We just don't hold women accountable for stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
always about the men, which is why it happens so much. Because women
Um,
get it's a fun thing when you're a child getting all this stuff from these grown men, and then when your daughter do it, and if something go wrong, you say, "Well, I didn't know." The police gonna go after the dude. The women is always left alone, so therefore there's no consequence. I even, you know what I'm saying? This is one thing I seen on the internet. It was a story about a dude who was on trial for having sex with a minor. This dude literally had sex with a girl who looked older. This man had her parents testify for him. Say yes, she goes out, she lies to men, she has fake IDs and everything. She's always trying to
Oh
deal with these
shit.
older men. She literally had another dude already serving time that she slept with before. And dude was still on trial for this, and it didn't look like the trial was going well for him. You see what I'm saying? Because nobody cares. It's always just about lock the dude up, you
Yeah,
know? So the fact that we keep this double standard going, and I understand people like double standards that benefit them, but at the end of the day, who does it actually hurt? It's hurting children that we keeping this double standard up in this particular situation. Now, when it comes to other stuff, my thing is I don't mind keeping double standards going because we talk about adult double standards. But when we do on a standard that messes up children, that's too far.
yeah.
yeah, because now you
I
look at
think
you
at the
gotta hold.
ages like those kind of ages is kind of like slippery slope kind of thing. You dig what I'm saying? When they in the late teens, like, cause I like me being honest, I don't feel like a woman who's 17 dating a dude who's 20 is like really a bad thing. Like, I wouldn't do it myself. Me keeping it real, like I wouldn't do it myself. But I wouldn't see it as much as a bad thing. You dig what I'm saying? Or a dude who's like I'm gonna say 18 dating a chick who's 16. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
Yeah,
view that as really a
All right.
if
bad
they could
thing.
have been in
Like,
high school together, if they could have been in high school together, I'm not really stressing that situation. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I know
yeah,
me
yeah,
personally, I talked to when I first made 18 years old. I had just made 18 because my birthday's in the summer. I met this chick who was bad as I don't know what, but she was 14. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Once I found out she was 14, there was nothing I could do. Period. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It just ended for me. It was just the end. You know what I'm saying? One of the baddest chicks I ever come across. And I know she got to be somewhere out there super fine now. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
ain't nothing you can do.
Listen. I
You
told the
got to let it
story.
go.
TT hit a brick wall. I said TT hit a hard fucking brick wall. Sometimes these chicks be overdeveloped at a young age, but that's because
Yeah.
they hurtling towards the brick wall. they ain't got much time. 25 is a wrap for them. They hit the wall. It's a wrap.
So,
But like, what's crazy is like, damn, we could really have this conversation with me because I feel like just due to my overall experience, I think that's the reason why I like older women. Like, for example, when I was 13, I lost my virginity to a chick who was 16. You dig what I'm saying? And like after that, like as I said before, like I used to really hang around like my older brother and my cousins. They were like my friends and their friends, and everybody was older than me, 2 or 3 years older than me. So majority of the women I'd be around would be older than me on some shit. Like my ex wife, she was what 2 years older than me. Like the chick I dated before that, she was 40, and I was like 22. You dig what I'm saying? Like I wasn't even really
oh,
dating her.
don't
I was
say
just
that.
fucking her
Now,
really.
now
Like,
I'm not.
I'm
I'm gonna tell you
2 years
right
older
now.
than my husband. Don't say that.
huh?
Now the
Oh,
thing
you
about,
all hoes need to leave us young niggas alone.
but isn't that? But I mean, the thing about I see, the only thing about I see is this, and I mean, if that had been a 16-year-old boy having sex with a 13-year-old, his ass would be a pedophile right now. He
Exactly.
get. But see, that's the thing. That's and I.
But that's a weird situation. I lost my virginity, but we was running a train. Like,
What?
See,
Oh,
but
yeah,
hold up. But see,
she was
that's the thing
letting us
about
run
it.
a train.
That's the thing about it. But regardless of the situation, because I'm just saying that I know plenty of young boys that get slapped with being a pedophile for the rest of their life for having sex with a girl on during the summer. It only takes and they don't even have to. The girl don't be reporting them. It'd be anybody else. And this is the thing about it's like it's just like Roger. Back to what Roger said. It's the inconsistency because you let one slide, then guess what? It can happen to anybody. Because
I
again,
don't I don't think parents of little boys are going to be like, if their parents find out a boy has, okay, for example, a dad finds out his son has sex with an older chick, but like a 14-year-old and 16-year-old or 17-year-old girl, the dad most likely will give him props then say that was wrong.
Yeah, but 14 and 17 really ain't that far. To me, that's still high school day. They could be in high school together.
But
If
then what's
they
the
could be in
difference
high school
between
together,
13 and 16? Because
now a
13 and
13-year-old,
16
are
can
they
still
if
be
they're in
no,
high
because
school? No, no, if they're in
you
high
can still
school,
be
I don't care. No, no, I'm saying if they're in high school, I personally don't care. I don't agree with every single law that's made. I think one of the black people's issue is they don't understand that when someone's on trial and you don't agree with that law, you can give them a non guilty because you as a citizen do not agree with that law. I don't agree with something where if they can go to high school together, I'm not tripping about that. You know what I'm saying? And technically, you can go into high school at 13 because when I went into high school, I don't think I had my 14th birthday when I went into high school. You know what I'm saying? Because when I graduated, I was still 17 when I graduated because my birthday is in July. I don't care about a high school type relationship. That's like, yeah, if a dude been dating a girl at 18 years old, she was 16, but now that he's 20, and but you know what I'm saying, she's still at her 17, but about to be 18, but they've been dating since they was in high school together. I'm not tripping about something like that. My thing is
yeah.
when you start having these significant differences, because there's boys that are tall like Trav. There's boys that's tall like Trav, and real adult women will mess with those boys simply because they tall. You know what I'm saying? But we don't deal with stuff like that. And there have been
But
been
we
men who tried to get those women prosecuted some of the time, but in most cases, people don't really
it,
take it serious.
too
So
many
because
people don't
our
take it
society gets a
because it's
oh, I'm sorry.
being, people don't take it serious because a lot of people praise that. You know how growing up, how many boys I knew that would talk about having sex like when they lost their virginity to the babysitter. Yeah, and, I smashed when I was 9, 10. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm
Niggas,
13, 14,
niggas used
still
to
a
for real
virgin,
look at
not
me like a god
understanding.
though, bro. Like nigga, I used to get she used to come like pick me up and shit, nigga. I used to look like the man.
No, I
All
get
jokes
that part.
aside,
I
That's
get
I'm
that part,
like
but my
the
thing
man.
is
but
bogus on
still, them
those.
people could be in jail.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm saying I get you because you were tall, and I know women like tall guys. That's not an issue. My issue is that when these taller guys date these grown women, they know they boys, and most people simply don't care because it's the other way around. Because our
Yeah,
our society has that strong double standard when it comes to it. We want to persecute men, but we don't want to do the same thing when women involved, and that just sets up a lot of bad stuff. You know,
So
because
I
I mean, even
so
R. Kelly, somebody abused him at some point. Who
so
was
I got
that?
questions. So at this point, we talked about the black community, but I want to take a look at the white community because the white community is out here doing this shit openly, and there's no problem. So if you look on your screen, you have an individual right here. This dude was in the Green Mile. His name is Doug Hutchinson. Right here, he's married to this chick. He was in his 50s, and he married this chick. She was 16 years old. Anybody got thoughts on that? Like, I mean,
It couldn't have happened if she was my daughter. It just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
they
Period.
played like it was controversial, but in reality, they really just brought it up just to try and make it pop off and give them some shine and do some extra shit. But in reality, nobody really gave a fuck about this. So anybody got thoughts on this?
I think that's not uncommon, and we all know it. Elvis did it. Fucking, what's the guy from '70s show? He did it. Fuck, it's a lot of white men. I'm
I
sorry,
said,
I know a lot of white men that were marrying or dating young white girls.
I
I
mean,
don't fuck with
goddamn.
them. It's been happening. I just think white people don't care about it. Like
Same woman on the screen that he married at 16. Now, I don't know, this
you
was
cutting out.
time. I mean, God, same screen, it's the same white woman that he married. I mean, he's 19 now.
okay, but
Well,
here's the thing. Here's the thing about it. Like this. One, you don't see white girls running up saying this person raped me. You don't really see them doing that. Not like black people. I'm sorry. We be having documentaries and tell all books and shit.
You actually do see it, but if you're not
No,
believing it,
okay. Like here's the thing. Okay, you say you do see it. I ain't never seen no white girl do no tell all book like no damn shit, and then it's on.
they
They
have a
do.
lot, especially geared towards the black guy, doing it to them.
Oh,
Just saying.
oh, okay. So they got to get towards the black guy, but the white man doing that shit. Do I see Tiger Woods white girls coming out saying, "Let me do a tell all book about Tiger"? No.
Yeah, actually, she does have a book and documentaries out there, just so you know.
Who?
Good job, Nicole.
What girl?
she on you
What
tonight,
girl?
bro.
What girl? What girl
Well,
do it?
What?
let me say this real
I'm
quick.
just
When it
saying you
comes
might
to
want to
the
fact check first.
No, I'm just saying I don't see. Like, that's the thing. We don't hear this stuff in the black community. You know why?
Because
Because
it's easier to stigmatize black women than it is for white women. So you just look for what's wrong with the black women and not
all
what
right.
white
So
women
if
are
you
I
want
don't
to say
like where
that,
this is
So it's not in
going.
your best
Like
interest
this
to
is
look. I'm just saying, stop with the demonizing black women.
who talked anything about black women? We never even said anything about black women.
You are right now
exactly.
when you
I
said
don't
that you don't
even.
see white
I,
women
I
doing
mean, do we
it.
do we say anything bad about black women here?
Let me. You just said that you don't see anything from white women. You only see black women. That's saying something bad, or do you
I don't.
not get that?
I don't see white men having to combat or try to do the issues that we have going on. I don't
Well,
see them.
they're not. But
You
they're the
like,
majority
I
of
mean,
what
how
I'm
many
saying.
we see hot white teachers fucking white boys?
Why
Do we
would
got
they
that
have?
shit going on here?
Okay, just go ahead. You have the floor.
Like, do we have hot black teachers fucking black boys,
I'm
or
not gonna
hot white
talk over
teachers
you
fucking
with
black
your
boys?
response. I'm not gonna talk over you.
Go ahead, go ahead.
You're comparing yourself to the majority. That doesn't make sense.
Why not?
Because you're not held by the same standards it just because somebody else does it
Oh,
doesn't make it right. I'm not sure your justification here.
so I'm black, so I can't hold them to any standard.
Go ahead and hold them to a standard with the rest of America.
Mm.
And let me tell you something. There have been plenty of white guys since the Me Too movement went from the black lady to the white lady. They have been convicted and they've been held accountable. Maybe it's not as strict. I don't know, but I can tell you that
What
a lot of
celebrities
people
have
have
been
been
held
convicted.
accountable? I'm just curious.
Go ahead. I want to hear this shit.
So
Yo,
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not. Yeah, I'm sure you're
I'm
not.
telling you that a lot of white people that
Just
you
like
don't.
the billionaire who been fucking kids in Florida, and they even had they had the girls go to the stand. You know, he got probation. He got to leave out of prison,
What
go
does that have
on
to do with
dog
R.
walk.
Kelly, though?
Yeah, huh?
What does that have to do with R. Kelly? Does that give him a pass?
What did that do? R. Kelly. We just not compare a white rich man with the same thing with a black rich man doing the same fuckboy shit.
Wrong is wrong. Okay.
Okay, but don't be saying wrong is wrong, and we just gave you something, and then after that, we just showed you that your ass was wrong with that shit. Why can't we hold white people accountable when they do fucked up shit?
relax. I don't even. I understand. It's frustrating, but relax.
God damn! Every time we call white people, they always black people.
Well, I'm gonna say this real quick. When you talk about white people doing it, truth be told, white people can do way more and get away with way more because they set the laws. And at the end of the day, when they people get caught up in messed up stuff, they just make a new law. They make a new statute. They just make a new situation. Just like that whole thing about the meth thing. When meth got out of control to the white people, okay, well, we're going to handle that as a medical situation instead of as a criminal situation. They can adjust things for their benefit. So, it ain't really much you can really say on that note because they actually got the power to adjust the situation.
You got a point.
No, you got a point. Like I said, bro. All I'm saying is every time we ever try to listen, man, we ain't gonna pretend like what
I just
like
think you're fishing right now.
this. Well, I tell you, man, it's like you can't hold white
Hold
people to
on.
no type of standard,
Why?
boy.
Why do you feel like why do you feel like that, love? Nicole, why do you feel like that?
I'm put on my headset. Why do I feel like he's fishing?
Yeah.
Because the topic isn't about some billionaire white man or this and that. We're talking about what R. Kelly has done and what he's going through right now. And the thing is, white men have been raping for centuries. That's nothing new. But it doesn't excuse what R. Kelly is being accused of. I'm not judging him at all.
Nicole, can you name 3 R. Kelly songs?
But I don't listen to R. Kelly at all. I don't listen to the
Oh my
music.
God! And this one speaking on R. Kelly.
I'm sorry?
Can I say something real
R.
quick?
Kelly songs.
Okay.
I don't
Trav,
understand what he's saying, but I don't follow the music and I don't follow him. Once I heard that stuff with Aaliyah, I stopped listening.
And that good for
Can
you.
I say something real quick though?
Go ahead, Trav.
All right, so
Do better, guys.
well, damn, I forgot what the fuck I was about to say.
Come on, Trey. I want to hear.
Nah. Just give me 2 seconds. All right,
If my
so
eyes were
boom.
closed, I would have thought you guys were on trial.
On trial?
God damn. Oh,
I don't
damn.
know. If this was trial, I wouldn't be talking.
Right there.
I would never came here. I said, oh well, we can't hold white people accountable, so fuck. What the fuck I need to come along with?
I mean, like, I kind of dig what she's saying, but it's just like there's no I feel like her judgment really ain't like across the board, so to speak. She'll say, yeah, don't talk about, you know what I'm saying, just don't talk about just white men, hold everybody accountable. But when you flip it, she's like protect black women type shit. You dig? Like,
you know, it's funny. Roger said that same shit in the beginning of this episode,
but at the same time, it's like how come? Like my thing with black women is just like,
Man, we not
how
even
come
talking
that
about black
loyalty isn't
women.
across the board when we talk about race in general? You dig? Like y'all really hate us that much on some shit. And it's
Nobody
just like
hates you. Now
don't
you're playing the
misunderstand me though.
victim.
Wait.
Now you're
Let me
playing the
finish.
victim.
Let me finish. All
Okay.
right. And
I will
I
stay
feel
with
the
that.
same way about huh?
Run it, Trav. Run it, Trav. Run it, Trav.
I feel the same way about like a lot of these fuck niggas too, like out here, like speaking on what they don't like about black women and etc. It's just like we got a lot of motherfuckers out here who's who are like more loyal to their like sex rather than their race. And to me that's like stupid. Like I feel like those people are like the most treasonous. Like I think people like that are just really just looking for an opportunity to be like white people. Like people on I mean those people on both sides. When we got the black women that talk shit about black men, they always talk about all of the benefits that they can get from fucking with the cracker. Same thing with the niggas who talk shit about black women. We got niggas pretty much just talk about all the benefits that they can get from fucking with white people in general or with white women. And to me, I feel like the people who hold those sentiments are usually the most treasonous to black people as a whole, you know? And we need to murder all of y'all.
They gotta die.
Huh?
Yeah.
Proud about that business.
Yeah, I guess people go to die for that. Yeah.
What did I say something? Did I say anything that didn't make sense or something that wasn't true?
I don't
Like
Ain't bother
understand
me.
that.
I'm just
You don't
saying,
really
man. It's like
mention it,
at
but
some
I
point
guess.
we gotta have some type of basis to go off of, and it's like
exactly. You need to have some kind of
it's like
loyalty.
whatever you can't. It's like don't talk about this, but then again, like you can't talk about my mama, but your mama does crack, nigga, so I can't talk about your mama.
Nobody said. I think you
Exactly.
guys are
Straight like
twisting
that.
the
So
narrative
Straight
it's
like
though.
that.
like
You guys are twisting the narrative, and that's
We're not
typical.
twisting the narrative. No.
You
Twisting
are
the narrative
because
is not being fair. I'm being fair.
because no.
I said the black women who do that shit need to stop, and the black men who need to do that shit need to stop. I'm
Okay,
not twisting no
but
fucking narrative. Like
I don't know why you're cursing at me, bro. But anyway, so you
ah!
guys,
Don't tase
I'm
me,
just
bro.
saying, talk to me like a
Bang bang.
lady.
Cool.
So I never said the white man wasn't correct. All I said was it wasn't the topic. That's all I said.
I mean, you ain't shit for doing it.
Well, my thing is we got to realize the white man is living in a different reality, and real talk, I have no issue with being loyal to your own race. And if you're gonna give someone a pass, why not give it to your own race rather than another race?
nah,
Hold
I'm
So
I
not
on.
giving
agree.
I
no
think
fuck shit
we
I
don't
niggas no
agree.
understand that.
pass. Yeah.
I
No,
ain't
no,
giving
no.
these niggas no pass.
I'm not
I'm
saying that,
saying
but I'm
if
just
you
saying
do,
even if I
definitely.
said if you do, I don't believe in giving
I
people
agree.
passes. Basically, period. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
if you're the type of person that's gonna give a person a pass, give it to your own race rather than somebody else's race.
I
But
mean
Yeah.
I think
that's valid as fuck. That's
I
fine.
I
I
feel like
agree
the
with
only
that
Regardless.
things we should be giving,
100%.
I think the only things that we should be giving passes is things that bring resources in. So I feel like we need to give all the drug dealers passes. We need to give the people who are willing to kill people
Oh
passes.
hell no! They've been getting passes for how
Reflection
many years now? Drug dealers been getting
again.
Why
passes.
did I know Ray he was gonna run to that? All right.
but no. But you know what? When it comes to drugs, though, real talk. My thing is, I see. I don't like the fact that black people are willing to convict people for stuff that they should understand is legal.